What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thrifty back with Thrifty PS Gamer Reviews. The playground is here. We are here. We have somebody here with us tonight who has not been along for the ride in quite some time. Super happy to have him back. Y'all have been asking for him. I was able to get him on at his scheduled time, finally. The rest of the other times have all been my fault, and so I am so happy that he's back without any gilding the lily. Nothing else before all of this. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment if you're watching this after the fact, join the chat if you're watching it now. You can join the Discord. It's in the description. If you need a link to it, it's right there. But that doesn't matter. None of that matters. What matters is Will 777 JP is here, live, and in the house. How are you doing, Will?
What's up, Thrifty? What up, Chad? How y'all doing, man? I am doing great. It is Friday night for me, so I'm excited to get tomorrow done and over with so I can enjoy the weekend, get some gaming in.
Man, that's awesome. What are you playing?
Oh, man, right now I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, just trying to beat this damn game. It's been more stressful than fun, but after all these hours in, I just gotta see it through. But I did pause last week to play South of Midnight. My Game Pass was running out. I had like 4 or 5 days or something like that left on the shot clock, and I'm like, you know what? This game is about 10, 12, 15 hours long. Let me try to beat it before it runs out. And buzzer beater, I scored, I beat it. Game Pass expired, and we're back to Shadows.
Okay. Now, Assassin's Creed Shadows, better or worse than Valhalla?
So this is a question I've been, or not a question, but the answer I've been giving people in regards to that is if the Japanese setting, if you're one of those people that just love the Japanese setting, then this is going to be the best Assassin's Creed for you, specifically because it just looks gorgeous, it looks beautiful. But if you really don't care about the setting per se, this one's going to piss you off a lot, and you might select some of the others as your favorite. Now, there are some improvements, like the combat. It's very improved versus the other ones. But for me, Valhalla is better, mainly because of the Viking setting. But it's all going to depend on what you yourself think as far as setting goes and what you prefer. But that's what's, I think, has been propelling the game to the success it has, is because of that Japanese setting.
Okay, and so is it just like, I guess it's the same formula then, right? Or does it feel updated? Does the formula feel different than Valhalla? I guess is what I should be asking.
It's very similar to Valhalla, except that in Shadows they are kind of straying more and more away from the Assassin's Creed, the sheesh, I forget their name, the Templars. Like, you don't get a lot of that until like the end game, which I think is where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Also, the big thing that's messing me up with Shadows in comparison to all the other Assassin's Creed is it's an open world, but it doesn't feel open world. And what I mean by that is if you stray off the path, you cannot go through. You know how on Horizon, if you want to cut through the mountain, cut through the trees, cut through anything except the path, you can do that. You cannot do that in this game. If you try going up the hill, you will slide down it. If you tried climbing up the wrong wall, you won't be able to. So it's more limiting that way. But there are upgrades, like the combat is a huge upgrade, I think. You have more options, you have more powers or abilities that feel more organic than what has been done with Assassin's Creed before. So you do have some of that. So in some ways it's an evolution. In other ways, it's going backwards, which is kind of
Oh wow.
hard to accept. Yeah, it's really weird. Anybody who's played it and tried to travel will let you know, yeah, you can't just cut through the forest and try to get to your point. You got to go through the path.
Huh. Now, even in uh, Odyssey, well, heck, Odyssey, Valhalla, and Origins, you could just kind of go whatever. Hell, even in all of the older Assassin's Creeds, you could cut through the city from one end to the next. Can you still do that in this one?
So it reminds me a lot of like a. It doesn't feel as constricting as like a Ragnarok, where you have all the, what do you call that? Not the subworld, but they're like, once you get to that one section, like a hub world,
Yeah, like
then
it
you can
has.
kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
go. It's kind of like that, but a little bit wider. So if you're like in a village, yeah, you can go wherever the hell you want. But the difference is when you go from one village to another, you have to take the sidewalk, you have to take the road. If you try to, for example, if the road goes north, then east, then south to make a U, upside down U, and you think, okay, I'm just gonna go east right away and cut through the forest, you will not be able to do that 8 out of 10 times. There's gonna be some sort of, cliff or mountain or just something that's going to impede you from doing that, which is extremely frustrating.
Okay, see, that's interesting because the game I'm playing right now
Hold
is
up,
well.
Lunchy, that's not true, bro. Send me a video clip because
I
I have clips
I
on
wondered if you were
Twitter.
going to see that.
No, hell no, dude. And I even put a uh and shout out to Wooly because Wooly he's been loving the game and I've been trying to watch his stuff to see, because obviously I'm not right all the time, and it's like just a me thing. Is it a skill issue? And one other complaint people having is Yasuke, who's the guy samurai. He's like a brute in this game, where Noe is the more assassin, nimble kind of character. I was having a hard time with Yasuke because I mean climbing up walls is like almost difficult with him. And shout out to Wooly because he was like, you got to kind of do it like this, go a little bit more gentle. You can't just jump up a wall like you do with Naue. So I'm like, all right, I got to adapt myself, and I did, and I've been having a much better time with him. But show me, Launchy, because everybody I've spoken to says the same thing.
Huh. All right. Well, hey, listen, I'll let y'all two have that one. I was going to say the game that I'm playing right now, well, one of the games I'm playing right now is you can like jump off of anything. It's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. Like you don't die. There's no such thing as fall damage. Your character barely reacts when you like hit the ground, if at all. And so it's you'll be on like top of a mountain or something, and like the platform that you were that you can like that you need to be on to get down from the mountain or like part of the path, you can just say F it. I'm not going to walk all the way back around. You can just jump straight down 100 feet and be totally fine. I jumped off of like the side of a cathedral and I was totally fine landing on the top of like a sphinx type statue or something. It's pretty wild. But like it's it's almost jarring when I play it because it doesn't follow like normal physics rules. And everything else in the game does. Like the game is very reactive. The world is pretty well done for a lower budget title. Like really good, but it's just some weird things where you can jump off of things and nothing happens. Says bro, I've been going through the woods and everything. Yeah, sometimes you can. Okay. Hey, Warawana, you made it. Nice. My voice is apparently choosing now to try to leave. I don't know why. I'm not sick. I don't feel bad. Nothing like that. But yeah, so that's fun. Now, you mentioned something when you were talking, Will, about a skill issue. And that, or a potential of a skill issue. And that is a great segue into kind of the first topic of tonight, and or one of the topics for tonight, and it's my goodness, easy mode is becoming a joke, quite honestly. And this is coming from a guy that plays on easy mode. I play most of my games on easy mode. As of lately, I've been playing them on normal, but like easy mode is a thing, and if a game frustrates me too much, I'll just put it on easy mode. And then after that, if I still suck at it, I either A, stop playing it, or B, I, get a little bit better and I don't die. But we have we have games now that are letting you skip boss fights. We have games that are letting you have them fight for you. Heck, we had one of those last year. We have another one now where you don't have to do anything. You can just let the game do it all and just skip it. And now Death Stranding 2 is going to have that same kind of feature. And to be honest, it's kind of gross. Like, I understand that it's a what am I trying to say? It's a form of entertainment and it's an art form and all that. Uh, you mean IGN mode? Absolutely, RPG 88. Absolutely. What's up, Outsider Gaming Night? Hey, but you got now listen. Wara, I understand that I am a fan of easy mode. I get it. But like even this is too much for me. Even this is way too much for me. Like at that point, like it's just watching a longer movie. And I don't know, I don't play games to watch a movie. I play games to interact with things, to be a part of the experience, to actually be the one affecting the experience. And now we have games coming out where literally you can just skip and listen to this. This is the part that really bothers me. It's in the first paragraph here. This is from Zarmina Khan over at PlayStation Lifestyle. She said Hideo Kojima has revealed that Death Stranding 2 on the beach difficulty settings will feature a special option for those who struggle with its boss battles. Apparently, those who die during a boss fight will be given the option to continue playing the game without attempting the fight again, but they won't miss anything important. Okay. This is not exactly what I wanted. This is different. So, the thing that bothers me, though, is they're saying that when you don't do these fights or anything like that, that you're not missing anything important. That's the part that gets me. Part of the joy of playing Stellar Blade, which is by far the hardest game that I've ever beat. Okay? I don't play Souls games. Don't do that. They're too hard. Don't play them. Got it. And I need to be okay with that, and I am okay with that. But even in Stellar Blade, part of the joy in the game was that I could make Eve such a badass and control her so well that I would be able to defeat the enemy after 2 or 3 or 4 times. Except for the last boss. That took me 2 different play sessions over 2 days. But like, for the most part, if you just stuck with it, if you just persevered just a little, I'm not asking you to go play Demon Souls here, but like persevere just a little, you get that struggle. You get why the character at the end of the battle is winded and why they're like struggling because, oh, you didn't just hit the damn skip button, you actually did it with them. Hell, the controller during the cutscene after a battle was always next to me and I was wiping my damn hands on my shorts. Like, trying to get the freaking sweat off of them because I was actually intensely doing something. I was a part of the experience. So when Eve was exhausted, so was I. Like, this takes it to a point where even those of us who like easy mode have to look at this and go, now, wait a minute. Why are we not just, putting the controller down and pressing X on a movie to make it play? I don't know. Chat, sound off with your comments. We'll go to Will. Will, what do you think on this, man? Is this the death of gaming that folks were talking about?
No, man, absolutely not. Look, man, I used to kind of think like you, and I kind of still do. I don't play on easy mode. I play on normal mode. That is my, my base. If I can't like beat a boss in normal mode, I really question myself. I don't question the game. And sometimes it is the game, right? They say normal, like Wukong, they fooled us. They said, oh, this isn't hard. And next thing you know, it's freaking pile driving you through the fucking roof of your mom's house. And like, oh, you did that to yourself. But I'm all about gaming being available to as many people as possible. And I just had a comment in my video in one of my I have a series called Will It Play where I test physical PS or video games in general to see if you can install them and play them with no internet. And the one that I did recently was Rise of Ronin. And I had a guy in there who commented who said, "Hey, how difficult is this game? Because I suck really bad." And he gave me an example of a game that for me and you is no problem. And like you said, you play on easy, I play on normal. But even for him, it was difficult. Now I'm not sure if he was older or what, but I said, look, to be real with you, bro, the game is a little difficult. Like even I stopped playing it because I didn't like the difficulty. So I suggest you buy a pre-owned copy because if you don't like it, you can at least return it. And I start thinking about people like that who love gaming, but don't, if you think you and I don't have the time, imagine some of these people that are working 2, 3 jobs, and have kids and a family, and just to try to get a little bit of gaming in, and just that small inconvenience of having to do a boss fight, even if it's just a few times, really takes away from the amount of time you have left. So I'm all for it, man. You don't have to play that way. You don't even have to play the game. Now, a few years ago, I'm like, yeah, screw that. You're a pussy. Like, get good. Just like the Souls players call us normies, right? Like, because we don't play those games. But, man, let them be. If these developers want to spend the time doing it, then do it. But what would be even better is if they gave us, what do you call those things? Those sliders, right? So you can slide down difficulty on this thing, but keep the other thing normal. So that way you can really customize it to what best fits your needs.
So here's the deal. Here's where I'm at. I don't think the answer is making games more accessible to everybody. And here's why I say that. Because if
accessibility options.
Right. Like I don't necessarily think that is the answer. And here's why. Because literally I saw this and I was like, oh, that's interesting, but I don't want that, because when you start making a game for everybody, you make a game for nobody. Like, and that's with anything. Once you start making something for everybody, it loses its ability to reach anybody. That's why people gravitate towards one thing or another, or they like one type of movie or one type of game over another type. It's because we all have these different likes and dislikes, and we all have, to be honest, we all have different skill levels in gaming. Does that mean that I'm never going to get to experience the wonder and amazement of Dark Souls 2? Probably. But I'm okay with that. And I think as a people, take gaming aside, like, as a people, I think we need to be okay with sometimes shit's just not for me. Like, I am not the guy who's going to go outside and rebuild an engine anymore. That's not me. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. That's not cool. That's not fun. I don't like it. There's some people who love that stuff. Good on them. Great. Congratulations. Have a fun time. Does it suck that I don't want to rebuild an engine and probably never going to do it? Yeah, probably. But does it make me any less automotively inclined? No. I'm sure that if I wanted to, I could go out there and rip that thing apart. I used to do automobile mechanic work. I could figure it out. I don't want to. And I think that we need to be okay with not wanting to do or be involved in everything. Does that make sense? Nowadays people try to have an opinion on so many things that they lose what makes them them. Good example. Every single person in the chat right now, at least the names that I can see, nobody's new here, okay? At least the names that I can see, they could go, oh, so what type of games does Thrifty like? And automatically, JRPGs, RPGs, action RPGs, Final Fantasy, Diablo likes. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. They're not going to say shooters because I don't force myself to like shooters. I don't try that hard to like them now. I am a couple hours into RoboCop, and that game is fun. That game is just stupid, dumb fun. But that aside, they're not going to ask my question on that. So I feel like having this... I feel like literally all that Kojima did, at least in this instance, is said, hey, you want a full-on walking sim? Here you go. Have a fun walking sim. And that's fine if that's your vision for the game, if the boss fights don't really matter, if playing them you're not going to miss anything important. But then I would ask, why did you make a damn game in the first place? Like, why didn't you just make it like, why'd you make a game with combat in the first place if it didn't matter? If you were just going to be able to say, hey, forget about it, don't worry about it, it's not needed. We can literally just do a dark picture style game or a heavy rain style game, and ta-da, now we, instead of Death Stranding 2, we have Detroit Become Human, Death on a Beach. Like, I don't know, whatever the hell. But, like, that is the part of this that kind of bothers me, is I feel like they're trying to cater to more people who might have said, hey, parts of the game are too difficult, or we just want it for the story. And yeah, I don't think that that's the right way to go. What do you at least see?
Well,
Go ahead.
I see what you're saying, and I agree. But on the flip side, there are so many games out there that literally will, and what is it? The Bethesda games, like the where you're killing Nazis. I think Doom does this too, where if you go, the difficulty levels aren't easy, normal, medium, hard. They're like, big baby, cry baby. And they'll kind of throw it in your face like, oh, you're going to lower the difficulty? Well, it's not called easy here. It's called Big Baby, and then it shows a character wearing a diaper and a boo-boo, so that's funny. But at the same time, games have been doing this for a long time, and they'll tell you right away, like if you pick, some of them will have story mode, normal, hard. You pick story mode, it'll say right there, as close to a movie as you can get, or no combat or less combat. But I think, I can't speak for Kojima, because obviously we don't know. We're just two dudes who play video games who like talking about games with other cool dudes. That's what
who
we're
like
doing.
talking about games.
Yes, but I don't think Kojima is saying in the sense of like, yeah, this boss fight doesn't matter. I think what he's trying to say is that during the boss fight, you're not going to get some sort of like enlightenment to the story where everything's going to fit together. I think you're going to get that before the boss fight or after the boss fight, like so many games do. Like very little do games, unless, well, Kojima did this as well during the, his older games, where there'll be some dialogue while you're doing fighting, and you're like, oh shit, okay, this is where the story's going. But I don't think he meant it that way. And also, I agree with you about the difficulty part and making a game accessible for everybody. It's two sides of a coin. But what I say to that is, all games do that. That's why they have difficulties in them. The only people that don't are like the Souls games, where it's just the one thing. Either you take it or leave it. And I just don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think that they are minimizing the experience, because you can still get it if you choose to go the normal mode route.
My question is can you still platinum the game if you don't do the fights?
Well, that's another thing too, right? And a lot of games will do that. If you don't do the normal difficulty or higher, then you don't get the trophies. And I think that's a reasonable give and take. If you don't play it at least in this difficulty or higher, then you don't get the platinum. And I think that's okay too.
Yeah, so in Sword and Fairy, one of the things that it does is when you're in a boss fight, and this just happened to me a couple mornings ago, when you're in a boss fight, I got literally wrecked repeatedly, like 10 times in a row. One hit kill, 10 times in a row, dead, gone, done. Because I'm playing the game on normal. And up to this point, been totally fine. Died a couple times to a couple bosses, figured out their patterns, and then boom, got them killed. This one, absolutely freaking not, which I now know why, but ended up getting killed a lot. And it pops up and says, hey, do you want to lower the difficulty? It will lower the difficulty for this boss fight. This is a one-time thing, and once it is lowered, you cannot reverse it until after. So basically what the game does is once you beat it, the next time you load in, it resets your difficulty back to normal. But for that session, you're playing on easy. So or whatever difficulty was lower. So I end up, beat the boss, and I get out, save real quick, reload my save so I could continue on in normal. But I still did the fight. I still was the one that put the work in, and even on easy, I almost got my butt kicked. Or ran out of all my potions and had no revives because it was one of those where like the rest of the party somehow magically has disappeared and you now need to fight this boss on your own. Only the boss is a demon god from the heaven realm. Anyways, that game gets weird. But like it's just I still did the work. I still did it, but I don't know. Maybe it's gonna turn into this like press X to play a game or press X to watch a movie, and I don't know. That's not where I want my gaming to go.
I mean, look at how gaming has been going recently. It's like, what I saw a chart recently. It was like $47 billion yearly are made in China. The second biggest market was like $45 billion, and it just kept going on from there. But it's not enough for them, right? I mean, we see these numbers, and it's not enough. They're still laying people off. They're still saying that, all this shit about price. So yeah, they're gonna want as many people as possible because it just means more money. So it wouldn't surprise me if they just said, hey, you can either push X to watch a movie or push Square to play the actual game. It would not surprise me one bit with how money hungry these corporations have been.
Well, I will say this. Zarmina Khan seems to agree with our good friend Will777 because she goes on to say this. She said, we're sure the Get Good Brigade will be upset by this, so we want to emphasize that this is an option, not a forced feature. Video games are increasingly becoming integrated with other forms of mainstream entertainment, and it makes sense for Kojima to appeal to a wider audience. Right there. Appeal to a wider audience, especially considering his love for films and other media. I would say to that, go make a damn movie. That's just my opinion.
Which is what they want to do any damn way.
Right! Like, Neil Druckmann, stop fucking with video games and go make your movies and TV shows. Go have fun. Kojima, you are a brilliant, brilliant individual. Go make your freaking movie. It'll sell tons. Go have fun. Do it.
With A24, baby. He's going to go make what is Death Stranding.
Like, go make your films. Get out of gaming. There's tons of studios popping up, tons of these powerhouse developers coming out that are like making big, massive waves and making good names for themselves. The color of the guard? No, the changing of the guard is happening. Like,
oh, big dude. I have a sneak peek for those of you guys. Tomorrow or the next day, there's gonna be a video on my channel. Video game pickup, and there's a game on there called Conscript. That game was made by one dude. One dude made this game, put it out on PC first. It did well. Then he put it out on console, and it's indie title, $20-$30, and the game's getting good reviews. And it's a survival horror game. What do you call that? Like the top-down view, like Diablo. Isometric, kind of like that, kind of camera style. And it just goes to what Thrifty's saying, like, dude, people making video games is becoming more and more accessible than ever, and there are so many people making games that if you want to go make movies, feel free to do that, bro. And plus, Kojima, how old is he, man? How many games does he have that are going to take 5, 6, 7 years to make? He doesn't have that many left.
According to some articles, Physint 2 is about to be in phase 2 of production and will go into full production after he completes OD and Death Stranding 2 on the beach. So their studio has actually seemingly picked up a decent cadence. Corey Massey, why does it matter to you what difficulty someone else plays on? The game community is weird energy. Okay, so isn't it weird you say games are getting more accessible to make, then say they are laying off people? Maybe it has little to do with money. I don't understand that, Josh. Restate that in a way that my dumb ass can understand what you're saying. Why does it matter to you what difficulty? So here's why. Here's why it matters. It doesn't matter to me what difficulty anybody plays on. I play on easy mode on a lot of games. Recently, I've been playing since Stellar Blade last year, I've been playing games on normal because it gave me the confidence that, maybe I don't suck as much as I think I do. And so I play most of my games on normal now. I have no problem with easy mode. I have no problem with lowering difficulty of a fight. I do have a problem when you completely skip aspects of a game, and even if the developer says that's okay, we've designed it that way, it's a choice, you can do that, I still don't think you should be doing that. That is also, Corey, my opinion, to which I am allowed to have. It's an opinion. I am allowed to say, hey, I don't think gaming should do that. I don't think developers should allow you just to completely skip sequences that deal with the combat or the gameplay of a game. I don't even necessarily like skipping cutscenes unless you've already viewed them once. Like, that's part of the entirety of the gaming experience. So, when I'm saying that I don't like that and I don't think we should do that, you're not playing a game if you're skipping the game part. Abso-freaking-lutely. You're not playing the game if you're skipping the game part. You're watching a Netflix TV show. Which, more power to you. Knock it out if you want to do that. But also, don't tell me that you've beaten all these games when all you do is speed past everything just to get to the end. That's ridiculous. When you can look at me and tell me you beat a 100-hour game in 30 hours, you skipped some shit. You skipped lots of shit. When you tell me you beat a 25, 30-hour game in 12 hours, what that tells me is you did not absorb the game. You did not try to absorb the game. You didn't even try to give the game a fair chance. All you did was speed through the main story, and then you're probably one of those dumbasses that gave a review saying, oh, well, the game just really didn't have any depth to it and didn't have any substance. Dipshit, you fast-forwarded through everything. Like, that's why. That's why it bothers me.
Shout out to Henry Heck. He posted a video of a reviewer. Oh, I wish I could remember his name right now. But he was saying how he only needs to play like the beginning part of the game or like 10 hours, like something very like we would look at him like what? Just like something very minimal, and that's how he does his reviews. Like they don't play the games fully. And I'm over here, which I don't review games, right? I don't have a freaking magazine company or anything like that.
Hey,
and I feel like
did y'all hear that? We should
more.
get Will to start a magazine company.
Oh, dude, I can't even talk right, let alone freaking do all that. But it's like
stand with your leg up on a trash can and your hand on your hip. I know you can. You got this.
Oh yeah, maybe on a good day, bright and early when I wake up full of energy.
That's right.
Yeah, like these dudes don't even like even just us. Where we feel like if we do just the campaign, like no side, like we feel a little like, did we even get the full experience? Did we even, So yeah, you 100% right about that.
And Corey, you're right. If somebody else wants to do that, go right on ahead. But please, for the love of God, don't give... This is where it bleeds into reviewers doing this. Casual gamer, fuck it, whatever. Make your own damn choice. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you're getting the proper amount from the game. If you do and you want to give somebody $75, $80, $100, pretty soon $200 for video games, you heard it here first.
I think some of that has to do too with people who play like that. Then they want to scream from the mountaintops or from the rooftops that
that's it.
Hey, this game sucks. Especially the game sucks part, because we see that so much, and that's part of my problem with some of these YouTubers, where they're constantly talking about video games, constantly saying how quote unquote good a game is or bad a game is, but yeah, you look and they haven't even played it,
right?
And they themselves will admit it. I don't play. I'm like, dude, you're a streamer. You do this for a living. How the hell do you not play video games? You telling me you beat 2 or 3 a year? What? I beat 2 or 3 in freaking a week. If it's a 5-hour game, of course.
Right. That's the that's the part that I think gets me the most, is that so when I do my review videos, I have very specific wording that I use, and everybody here knows this. Maybe you're new to the channel, haven't seen one of my reviews because I haven't done one in so long, but when I do, like, if I play the game for 5 hours, 4 hours, whatever, I will give a first impressions. Here's my first impressions. And usually in the video, I will say something like, I hope this changes part of the way through, but if it doesn't, this is a huge miss from the developer. Like, I'll say statements like that. Because, for me, I'm usually playing them as a quick, oh, hey, this game dropped on sale. This game is in PS Plus. I have not played it before. Let me get a decent little feel for it and then give my first impressions. Now, if I do a review and I have not completed the game, I will say a review 30 hours in. That way people know, oh, hey, this game is 60 hours, 30 hours in, he hasn't beat the game yet. Cool. And I'll even make mention of it in the video. What kills me are people who do these hard and fast stances that ain't touched shit. That been like, oh, I played through the itch. It'd be like me right now giving a synopsis and a review on Octopath Traveler because I have literally played 2.5 hours of the game. And I'm at the second section where I'm picking up my second character right now. Like, that's it. I can't give a review on that. I don't even know half of the battle system yet. I don't even know how all of it works together. I don't even know who the hell these people are. Hell, in Sword and Fairy, I have 40 hours almost in that game, and I just now started to put the pieces together of which characters are what, which characters do what, where they fall in the story, and being able to like see the dialogue between characters and remember, oh, this is so-and-so from this sect. This is so-and-so that we met in the demon world. This is, okay, that's the lead. Like, I'm starting to be able to like connect all of these things finally. But it's because I've spent so much time with the game. And so I just think that when you start alleviating portions of games, whether it's the whether it's traversal, whether it's, because I can't remember what game it was, but there was something where like you can start skipping puzzles. And I'm like, why? Like, I get asking for a hint. I have to go to Google often to get a hint on a puzzle. But like, I get that hint, I figure out that section, and then I try to beat the next one. And I keep doing that. Like, that's okay. But like, just to skip something in its entirety because you don't like it, yeah, it's weird. You know, people want to say that I might be being weird right now, like Corey is saying in the chat, but like, it's weird that you want to play a game and not play the game. That's weird. It's like going to a movie. Pardon me to anybody who is blind out there, and I'm being so serious when I say that. But generally speaking, I would equate this with going to a movie with a set of blindfolds. Like, sure, you can get most of it, but you're not going to get the full experience. And so, yeah, fuck it. Do whatever you want as a gamer, obviously. But don't say it's not weird. If you skip... Maybe you would finish more games if you skipped the puzzles. What's up, Fornatron? Holy crap, I didn't even know you knew my channel still existed. Holy shit. Hello. You know what it was? Souls got mentioned and he was summoned. That's how this...
Dude, these dudes got spidey senses.
I'm telling you. They're like, ooh, somebody mentioned Souls. I'm here. What's up, Forna? Good to have you, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so one of the next things I want to talk about is one of the dumbest statements I have seen, and it's coming from within the PlayStation camp. Okay? It's quite hilarious. I just saw it when I was on X posting the video from here. By the way, go ahead and share this out over there because y'all know people I don't know. I know people y'all don't know. And it'd be kind of cool to get more people that we all don't know in the chat here. So go ahead and share this out. But I was over there and I noticed somebody say this and it's quite comical. So here you go. Let's see it. This is from Tom's Guide. It said the PS5 Pro version... I'm sorry, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is so much better on PS5 Pro versus the Xbox Series S. Native 4K with ray tracing, stable 60 FPS, faster SSD loading, DualSense haptics, and adaptive triggers. Okay, so I cannot fucking wait for the console warriors to come in here and go, see, we fucking told you it was good. We told you. Okay, hang on, guys. It absolutely should wipe the floor with the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X versions. It should absolutely kill it. You want to know why? Because this machine costs, what, $200 more? So it should do things better, right? I mean, Will, am I wrong? If you're selling two
No.
products to a client and one client costs $200 and one product costs $200 more than this other product, say one is, just for shits and giggles, $4.99 and the other one is $6.99, wouldn't you think that the $6.99 product maybe works better than the $4.99 product? I mean,
Yeah, it would be idiotic to think not, you know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Like, a better. Shit, we joke around even just from the PS5 to the, PS5 Pro. Like, it better clean my house. It better,
it
we just
better.
have that expectation because it's more expensive.
Right, like,
And they told us that it's better.
seems like, now, if this would have said it plays better or so much better on the PS5 versus the Series X, that would be cool. That would be something interesting. That would be something, which it does, but that would be something that look, it's already happening. Look at this crap. You got little PS ponies over here, freaking sitting here like this is advanced. What the? Oh, now hang on, that does look, yeah, but this is better. Okay, so here's part of it. Look, and then you got the PC crowd coming in and going, "Hey, you still can't touch us. Look at this. Look at this shit. You can see all the reflections of everything. Hell, you can see damn near inside the windows of the neighbor's fucking house in the reflection. Like, so listen, but that's also probably once again, on the right is probably a really beefed up PC. Which, in that case, it should wipe the floor with the PS5 Pro. No fucking question. But, like, anyways, I just thought that was funny and something to kind of cleanse our palate from the last topic. But, Will, are you going to run with this story that the PS5 Pro plays games and makes games look better than the Xbox Series X?
Hey, you know what? Lamborghini's faster than a Toyota, for y'all that didn't know.
No
So
shit.
I think that they just didn't have anything to write, so they were like, hey, I
So
played it on PS5, I tested it on the Xbox, and man, this looks better on the PS5 Pro.
that is part of the problem. I will be completely honest with you. Part of the problem is we are in a really slow news cycle right now, so people have nothing to write and they're getting bored. Like, that's quite literally, I mentioned in the Discord earlier today, I was like, news is very slow right now. Like, it's that calm before the what used to be E3 storm happens. Like, it's very chill in the gaming industry right now. You got a few things that are popping up, like there was a scam for a Witcher 4 beta, PS5 Plus, or PS5 is doing price hikes, blaming it on the global economy. You got conversations about AI popping up, but like no real big, like, earth-shattering, week-shattering news, Like,
Well, you know what's crazy about all that, Thrifty, being a slow news week, is that we're in one of the busiest gaming periods ever. But yet it's a slow news period. So let that sink in a little bit for you guys out there that love watching these or reading from these journalists. How do they not have anything to talk about when we have some of the biggest games of the year dropping in the next couple of months? I mean, just this month alone, we have Horizon coming to PS5. They did talk about freaking Indiana Jones, but we have so many more. We got Doom coming. We got Lost Soul Aside. We talked about Kojima's game. So, I mean, it shouldn't be busy. They should be out there digging, trying to get more information on these upcoming games.
That's kind of where I'm at. Listen, I don't want to be digging for this. Like, I was watching one of TCMF's videos, and it popped up, like, I watched like 20 seconds of it because I got sidetracked on something else. But basically, it was about the new PSP or PS Portal. And there's like these rumors that are coming up. So I tried to Google some rumors tonight before the show. Couldn't find shit, so I just rolled on. Like, so there is kind of that, like, yeah, I'd love it. Can y'all find some information? Can y'all figure out some stuff? Can we maybe, instead of, like maybe the Witcher 4 beta news, that's cool, but maybe that sparks you to go, hey, CD Projekt Red, what are y'all doing? What are y'all trying? And then you can report, hey, tried to talk to somebody over there, got shut down, blah, blah. Like, something to show that you're, like, trying Like we have or it's not, damn it, not E3. We have Summer Games Fest coming up. Like there has to be some stuff coming up for that. Anyways, yeah, that's part of the story is that the Witcher 4 beta was fake. Um, but like, I don't know, man. There's so many things that could be talked about that they're not. Like, I don't know.
Not just that. I mean, we're halfway through the cycle of the PS3 and more than half of the Xbox. Like, are you guys digging into any information about that? What may be coming with that? You know, Nintendo obviously right now is hot right now as a topic. Where are the articles about that too? It's like the stuff that you guys should be, or by you guys, I mean these journalists,
Sure.
they should be talking about. They're not. They're over here talking about freaking comparison videos like they're regular YouTubers.
Hmm. Yeah, it's and I think there's I don't think there's anything that I don't think there's a such thing as journalism anymore. I really don't.
No,
It's
no.
it's one person reports on it and then 85 other websites take what that one person found and put their own little commentary spin on it. There's no more journalism. There's only what I'm doing and what you're doing right here.
Oh, dude,
Where
I was watching a video with quote unquote journalist who was in the Nintendo Direct for the Switch, and he was trying to. They were asking him a question about why did if he asked about the pricing and all that stuff before the pricing came out. And he's like, no, because I was on my phone trying to get the bit of information I got for me playing the Switch. So my colleagues across this is what he says. So my colleagues across the industry can get the information. That's what he said. Not so the reader can get the information, so my colleagues can get the information. So all it is a big friends group thread. That's all this is.
Sorry, I just caught something in the chat. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't give out your credit card information to people, especially folks with that username. It's not good. It's not good. Don't do it. I tried. I was tired and almost clicked. Oh, that's funny. Okay, so it really does bother me because then we get things like this. And we'll just get into this. We get stuff like this. Shuhei Yoshida said that Ghost of Yotei was bug-free even in early stages of development. Okay. Cool. Let's read. Former PlayStation exec Shuhei Yoshida recently praised Ghost of Yotei during a podcast, calling the title bug-free and completely playable in the early stages of development. Spotted by Games Radar Plus, Shuhei Yoshida recently appeared on the Easy Allies podcast talking about how he playtested Ghost of Yotei and how it felt in the early stages of development. Yoshida said that Sucker Punch has always, from the very early stages of development, had a playable experience whenever you try the game. It's kind of bug-free. Somehow the game doesn't crash. Even after they have been changing the battle so many times, but still it always works. So this was brought to my attention in the Discord by Wara, and one of the things that he had mentioned before there was some clarification given on this was that it was kind of terrifying to him that the game didn't have crashes early on or didn't have a lot of bugs early on because, oh my goodness, how big is the game, right? Like, how or rather, how small is it to be that good that early? How small is the game? But basically, what Shuhei was saying was that the game felt good when he played it. It didn't crash, right? But the title of the article says it was bug-free, meaning it didn't have any bugs. He says it was kind of bug-free. Somehow the game doesn't crash. That is different than actually bug-free. So, this type of stuff right here, though. This kind of just brief little update on a game. Shout out to Easy Allies. Not shout out to Games Radar or Insider Gaming because y'all didn't really report on this. Easy Allies did. And they were the ones with the interview, so I'm just going to go ahead and shout them out. But, like, one, it's really cool getting the interview from a source within and being able to have this kind of knowledge on it. So, hearing what Shuhei said, Does this get you more excited for Ghost of Yotei?
I was never excited for Ghost of Yotei,
So does this
so
get you
it
excited for Ghost of Yotei?
no, no, only because even if it wasn't Ghost of Yotei, if it was something else, that's what we expect from Sony first party games. We expect them to come out polished, no bugs, ready to go, feature complete. That's just what Sony does, and that's what we've been expecting from them. So they're doing their job as expected. Hi, good job, good job.
Okay, so we're gonna pause this whole topic. What makes you not excited for Ghost of Yotei?
My boy Jin Sakai, man, that's the only reason.
Sorry, right as you said that, Wara said, "Notice Aloy got a second game, but Jin didn't."
Right, and Ayla was the dry one. I mean, look, there's been so many rumors about the Ghost series, right? That it's going to be, what is it called, an anthology or something like that. And I'm like, look, that's cool. I would like for that to happen, right? Like they kind of do like Assassin's Creed where they do
It's gonna be the Ghost of Creed, is what it is.
yes, Ghost of Italy or Ghost of Mexico. Like that
Sure.
would be dope, and I would love to play those games. But we haven't, like, you're not done with your story. And if we look at history, we know that the Mongols, like Tsushima, was just like not even step one. It was like step one to the step one. Like then they went into mainland China. There was a thing going on. I mean, that changed Japan for centuries to come. And you're telling me that that's it with Jin? He's still alive. He's not dead. And I just feel like the character swap and then fast forwarding it to 300 years, it's disappointing. I'm sure the game's going to be great. I'm sure that it's going to be, they're going to have some cool features in there and some cool new gameplay. And I'm sure it's going to do all that. But it's a little disappointing because I like Jin as a character. I like the dilemma that he had like he became the Ghost. How is this new character going to become the Ghost? Like she's not even a samurai herself. So then now you're taken away from the whole quote unquote Ghost theme that you got going on. So I wonder how they're gonna do it, right? And this is just me speculating because I don't know nothing. But
Oh, I know how they're
Ghost,
gonna do it, right? I got you. You want me to lay this out for you? I got the
yeah,
story already in my brain hole. Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
so here you go. And Corey, I think we might actually agree on something for the first time in like 3 weeks. This will be like groundbreaking. Somebody write this stuff down. So here's what I think they're gonna do. One, I think it is going to be kind of an anthology. I think Ghost will be a mantle and not necessarily a person. It's going to be this mantle has been passed down through generation to generation to generation somehow, or to fighter to fighter to fighter. I don't quite know how they're going to pass it down, but it will be something that is passed down. Then the people in Ghost, or sorry, in these different regions will know how to the people in these different regions will have like this knowledge of this legend that keeps coming and like there'll be books and history lessons and like stuff that like I think different sections of lore that you'll have to play maybe as what's the main character's name gonna be? Lord help me. Anyways, the main character will have these flashbacks where you see like training or being taught this legend by a father figure or a mother figure, and then they themselves will inherit that or become that.
So like Assassin's Creed without the Animus.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Listen, I have no shame in saying it's going to be very much in the same vein and the same model as Assassin's Creed. I also don't think that they're gonna let Jin Sakai die that easy. In other words, what
No,
I mean
don't think
is,
so.
I think they're going to reference him a shit ton in the game.
Well, not just that. I also think, and this is, well, I don't think this, but a lot of people have been saying this. They think that they'll do another game with Jin, but then we go back to the whole, aging with Kojima that we talked earlier. Like, dude, Ghost came out when I was 32 years old. I'm 37. Like, how long do I gotta wait till I'm 45 to get another Jin game? Like, we only have X amount of time on this earth. And no, Josh, it doesn't have to be a samurai, right? But that's how they started off the game. look, I'm not against.
But to say they chose samurai, not me.
Yeah, I'm not like against them doing something different. I'm just disappointed that it's not Jin. Like I'm not mad at Ghost of Yotei except for the Jin part. But like I said, it's probably gonna be a great game. It's gonna have new stuff. And I hope they do the anthology thing where it's Ghost of wherever, right? And then each culture that there's a ghost, it came from defiance of sort. I think that should be the main theme around the ghost games is defiance against tradition or defiance against the political structure or even defiance against family, like in Ghost. It was a combination of all those, which is what I think made Ghost such a great game. And the story was that Jin was defiant against so many aspects of life that we can really relate because we're all defiant sometimes at work or even with our family or even with friends, and not everybody can pull through with that defiance. Sometimes we can at work, but at home, no, we're not going to continue, right? And the fact that Jin was defiant the whole way through, and I mean, dude was a lord. He gave up so much for the betterment of his country. Like, it's just an amazing game, an amazing story, and I just don't want them to take away from that by introducing this character 300 years later, and she's a ghost because she was a thief and got good at shooting a gun.
So, things like that, I can definitely see your apprehension. Unlike you, I don't think that the Jin Sakai story, I think they ended it well to where there didn't even need to be a sequel. Like, I think they ended the game well that there didn't need to be a sequel. Now, cool.
And then why call it Ghost?
No, well, the same reason why Assassin's Creed keeps going. Like it's
yeah, but we know it's Ubisoft.
Well,
Ubisoft will throw Assassin's Creed. I hate it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, Valhalla was just Vikings, but you can't call the game Vikings because nobody would buy it. So you have to call the game Assassin's Creed Valhalla because then you get Vikings and name recognition. Now,
I'm pretty sure they're gonna do a Rabbit's Kingdom fucking Assassin's game.
The difference comes in is that I actually have a lot of faith still in Sucker Punch. They haven't screwed me over like Naughty Dog has. Naughty Dog is on thin ice with me, but I know that those dudes know how to make a game over at Naughty Dog. I just don't know that they know how to make a good story anymore. So we're going to find that out with Intergalactic, because I'm sure the game is going to be great. It's going to be another wonderful presentation with good gameplay, intense moments, blah, blah, blah. I just don't know if the story is going to be any damn good.
I'm actually excited for Intergalactic. I know that's a lot of people aren't, but I'm the opposite.
Weird. I am totally the opposite. I am so apprehensive of that damn game. I think that game is going to be like a wet fart. Like, it has me nervous. And what sucks the most is I want it to be good. I like Naughty Dog games. Well, I used to. I like old Naughty Dog games. I like the Uncharted series. Those were fantastic. I liked Last of Us Part 1. Like, it was amazing the storytelling in that game. It was the fighting, the subway sequences when you're in the train stations and have to fight all these clickers, and oh my god, one wrong step and you were dead. Like,
so let me ask you this. Do you think that the age, because, you know, when I talk about time that it takes to make these games, people hate me for some reason. Like, I don't know if it's because people, you know, I understand the reference, let them cook, and I get that, and we should. But just like anything in excess, it's bad for you. Time can also be bad for you, and we see that in the current model of the video game industry. They're hurting for money, even though they're making hundreds of billions of dollars a year, right? But I think it's a lot of it is mismanagement, right? They just cannot manage things properly. So then the question to you is, speaking of, you know, stories and such, you know, for the PS3, Xbox 360 era, even early PS4, we would get a trilogy of games in 5 years. Like, we got Mass Effect series in, like, I think it was 5 or 6 years. We got freaking even like the Gears of War trilogy, you know, Uncharted. Like, we would get, I mean, PS3 came out with how many Uncharted games? Was it 3 of them? Do you think
4
the era
was
it
Lost?
could have been.
Was
oh no, that was PS4.
Lost Odyssey.
They did do a
Lost whatever was PS4.
That was, I think that was a PSP, or not PSP. The
Because
next handheld.
one of the games I thought had like an additional DLC at the end of it, like with Chloe and yeah.
Oh, that was Uncharted 4.
Oh, that wasn't
Yeah,
okay.
4.
Was
Yeah,
it?
that was like a little off, like a little off
See, that's the
shoot
problem.
of
It's been
the.
so dang long since I've played these. Like,
Yeah, that
and
takes
you're
forever.
right. You're right because you could get the bundle that upgraded you on the PS5. It was like $10.
Yeah.
Uh,
Josh says it's 3 on PS3 and Lost Legacies on
Lost
PS4.
Legacies on
Okay,
PS4. Okay.
that
So,
makes sense. But the question to you is, and I'm not talking about speed because I know we're never going to see that speed ever again.
sure.
But these games almost became instant classics in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that we will never see that again where games become instant classics? And I don't mean the one game, I mean like a trilogy of games. I
Well,
guess that will never happen because of the speed, but let's say they get like Sucker Punch, they're able to release a game every 3 years or so, give or take. Do you think we've lost that?
so it's hard for me to say. Because I think we might have lost that from the big publishers, but I don't necessarily we think we've lost that from the smaller developers. And reason why I say that is because right now RGG could release anything they fucking want to and put the uh, Yakuza name on it, and guess what? That game is gonna sell. Or put like a pirate or like a dragon on it, and it's gonna sell. Like that, I have no doubt in my mind. So that's all part of the same series. We also know that Assassin's Creed Shadows has sold well. So, but that's also an old franchise. So is Yakuza. So that kind of feeds into what you're saying about there not being anything new. Maybe like because I can't think of a game right now that came out. I guess a game that I think that came out to some pretty good success. The studio did well, the game did well, has a decent fan base, has a good following. I think it only sold like 2 million copies, but Stellar Blade. I wonder how fast we're going to get the next iteration of Stellar Blade. Or even if they're going to do another iteration of Stellar Blade. Uh, I don't know, man. That's actually a really good observation. I don't know. It. Let's see. So let's see what the chat has to say about this. Everyone
Some of
here.
these developers are kind of in line with like the Nintendo thinking, and not in the way of let's charge more money, which that could happen too, but more in line of let's milk this IP for as long as we can. And I have mixed feelings about that because when you have something that's good, I don't want it to go away super fast if I'm
Ooh,
the one creating it.
ooh, Metaphor.
Oh man, that game, I quit
Metaphor.
that game after an hour.
Metaphor was a game. I have 86 hours in it. Still hadn't beat that damn thing. But okay, so Fornitron just said that they are working on a sequel for Stellar Blade, as it was a huge success for them. Okay, cool. See, so like that's a game that came out, came on the scene, took gaming, created its own little path, and they're already working on a sequel for it. Now, do I know if that's going to come out this generation or next? I have no idea. But that does go in line with a game that showed up out of nowhere, and it's a new IP, doesn't have ties to any other IP, and they made it work. There's another game coming out, and the clip is playing right now, but it's you have Lost Soul Aside, and then you also have Expedition 33, and then you have Tides of Annihilation, which is the one that's playing right now. Like those games, I could actually see spawning franchises. Like they all look really, really good. And so like yes, but those three games that I just mentioned are from studios that nobody's ever fucking heard of. Like we
Well, and
haven't.
then that leads me to believe that they can possibly be like that. Like that one artist, or we know this a lot in the music industry, the one hit wonders, where they completely invest 100,000% of their energy, creative energy, into making the one thing, and they're depleted. like I see that a lot as well, especially with the smaller studios, with the indies. Like they did so well with one game, and the only reason the second game did okay, not as great as the first one, was because they're still carrying that pedigree from, hey, these guys made this game, so we're gonna check out the second game. But then after the second game, they're like, all right, that's it. This sucks.
Okay, so we have our two From Software apologists in the chat over here, and here's what they said. So we're kind of getting tag teamed by two of them right now. This is uncomfortable, guys. I don't recommend it. But here's what they said. Here's what Wara said, rather. Sony Santa Monica, God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War Ascension, God of War Ragnarok, 250 employees as of 2024. Naughty Dog, Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, Among Thieves, Drake's Deception, The Last of Us, Uncharted A Thief's End, Uncharted Lost Legacy, Last of Us Part 2, 400 plus employees as of 2023. Also, I'm going to say thank you for including Lost Legacy, even though it was just a glorified DLC. Now, From Software. Now, these are all from 06, 07 to now. Okay, so here's where it comes in. Armored Core 4, Armored Core 4 Answer, Ninja Blade, Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Armored Core 5, Armored Core Verdict Day, Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Darrison? Sure. It's a PSVR game. Sekiro, Elden Ring, Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, Elden Ring, Night Rain, and then Duskbloods in 2026. 423 employees in June, or as of June 2024. So basically, From Software, in the words of Fornatron, is lapping everybody. So,
I mean, I would be lapping everybody too if I made the same ship, just different characters. Well, not even different characters. And look, we can say the same thing about God of War. Absolutely.
Yeah, but hang on.
About Uncharted.
Because you got to put... Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, you have to put... Sony does reuse assets. Like, PlayStation reuses a shit ton of assets.
And they should. They should. I think that they... As a matter of fact, I think that they should take... Let's say... let's just use Stellar Blade as an example. I think they should take all the fucking assets, rearrange them, come up with a new story, or continue the story, and that should be the next game in 2 years. I think they should do that. I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel, but something that Naughty Dog, and... I
will also say this. I fully believe that those PlayStation studios, and correct me if I'm wrong, Wara, Forna, anybody else in the chat, will, hell, somebody correct me, I don't care. I fully believe that Uncharted, God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, basically any game from Sony runs better and looks better than
new story, voice actors,
games from Software. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong.
There's way more elements to it.
Also, the other crowd would say that mocap is the reason why games take so fucking long, which they're not wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, mocap does make games take longer.
So yes, but also I watched the Grounded 2, I think it's called, or the documentary that Naughty Dog did for Last of Us Part 1, and they did it again for Last of Us Part 2, which basically is a documentary where they start filming. It's a documentary about the making of a game. And on Last of Us Part 2, Neil is on there, and they'll tell you themselves, they are poor, very poor at managing time. Very poor at mismanagement of time. And they say themselves, there's so many times we had voice actors or music producers come back and redo the same shit just because we changed the one little thing or two little things, and it happens over and over and over again. So a lot of these games, time could be sped up if they just freaking plan things accordingly. Now I understand not everything goes to plan. We all deal with that, even on a simple Saturday when you're gonna hit up Home Depot, then grocery shopping, then stop at grandma's house to drop off the lawnmower, and then come back home. And then what happens? You're gone for 10 hours, right? So I understand that plans are made to be broken. But at the same time, when you have hundreds of millions of dollars invested in something, it's not as simple as, oh, I was going to grandma's to drop the lawnmower off and my cousin called me and said they need the lawnmower first. Like, there's differences here, and I just think that FromSoft, because it is in the East, I think that the culture's a little bit different and their work ethics are a little bit different, so they're able to put out content a little bit or way more faster than the West can. But in the West defense, they are adding so many more layers. Now, look, I don't play FromSoft games. I suck, right? It's not a games problem. It's a me problem for the Souls people here, before I start fucking burning my house down. It's a me problem. Get good. I can't get good. Okay, I'm sorry.
They wouldn't burn your house down, sir. They would stare at it for 30 minutes and keep parrying around it. They would never actually hit the damn thing. They just kept parrying and dodging. That's it.
That's true. But never have I seen a FromSoft trailer or the bits that I played where I even see there's a freaking story.
Oh, it's there. It's there. You just gotta go find it. You just gotta go find it.
Under the earth tree, but you can't go too deep because if you do, you're gonna miss a chest that's got the book in there. So yeah, I think it's easier when you don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. Warrawana. I'm not saying they don't like their games. I would never. Once again, From Software titles that's a genre of games and gamer that I don't fully understand. Y'all are different. Don't know what. Y'all are different, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being different. We should embrace each other's differences. That's what we should do. We should just embrace it. Febrizzle, what's up, man? Will 777JP, so you don't play the games. Then you don't know you're missing out. Or you have the North American games have.
I have played the games. I just don't get very far.
Right. As an adult, I don't need
I got
stories slammed down my throat. You need something else slammed down your throat, or you seem a little pissy.
I mean, not like a good story. Stories have been around since the beginning of time. Like we all tell stories. How do you not want a good story?
Right. I guess.
I don't.
Yes. Not. This is also why not every game needs to be for every person. This is what I was saying earlier. When a game tries to be for everybody, you don't appeal to anybody. I am so happy that a company like From Software exists, where they're sitting there and they're saying, hey, guess what? You can't beat our game? Good. Supposed to be that way. Have fun. Take care now. Bye-bye then. I also love that other games are coming out and saying, hey, listen, here's an easy mode. Awesome. You can still play our game and have fun and experience the combat, experience the gameplay, experience all the mechanics and all of that. Here you go. The part that I have a problem with, and this is what I said earlier, is games that let you just skip shit. Just skip all of it. But outside of that,
skip Elden Ring. Boss fights. I would play it then.
That's really funny. I wouldn't, because I would feel very cheaty at that point. I would rather just not play a game than cheat my way through the game.
Okay, fine. Well, can you just write a book then with the story, and then I'll just read it? I mean, it's the same thing you do in the game, right?
Right. Exactly. Me and the missus play it daily. What are y'all talking about? From Software games are not for everyone, but don't slander and say things that you don't even know. And that's the thing. Forna, no problem. Listen. I have praised Elden Ring up one way and down the other. I think what From Software did, taking the world by storm with that title and having it sell 20 plus freaking million copies, is absolutely wild. I'm so baffled that they did that. That is awesome. I give them the same exact praise that I give Portkey Studios for Harry Potter. Same exact. 25 million, 25 million. Way to go. That's awesome. The difference is I clicked with one of those games and I did not click with the other. One of them I had almost 100 hours in. The other one I had 10. Because I did play Elden Ring. I beat Margit the Feld. I got past that. I got my ass kicked by the two little twin goblin assholes in the cave. I did those things. But the game just didn't appeal to me. And that's okay. That's totally fine. This is what I was saying, I would rather a game not appeal to me than the devs look at a game and go, hey, let's make it to where you can just skip everything so that way you'll play our title. No, because at that point, like Will said, just give me a fucking book. Give me a movie. Give me a Netflix docuseries. I don't give a shit. Like, both of them revolved around a majestic flame that needs to be reignited or extinguished. I mean, not wrong. The only assets that were reused from Dark Souls to Elden Ring were skeleton animations, mocap. No textures or geometries were reused. That's pretty cool. Like,
that is cool.
Not taking...
And also, Thrifty,
go ahead.
Just to say this too is that, look, guys, you guys know that me and Thrifty are huge PlayStation guys.
Facts.
I talk shit about PlayStation all the time. I make fun of PlayStation all the time.
Increasingly so.
Increasingly, we're having fun, right? Because me and Thrifty, we both know we suck. Okay, we can't. We could do a little bit, and then we just don't have the perseverance, we don't have the patience, and we don't have the skills, so we move on. But
I don't have the BDE for it. It just doesn't work.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not a masochist, but just because we're making fun of it, it doesn't mean that's that's our primary target. No, it's just something fun to talk about with friends that we all understand. Because it wouldn't be no fun if I started talking about some freaking RTS game that only 3 players on Steam play. We're like, yeah, check this out. The main character has a big head. Everyone's gonna be like, what?
Don't say that. But Josh has probably played it. Don't do that. Oh, yeah. Josh.
That's true.
Josh has probably played it.
Doki Doki Literature Club, and I absolutely loved it. And I used to talk shit about these story magazine games. I used to talk a lot of shit about them. And then I played Doki Doki Literature Club, and it connected with me, and now I defend them a bit. I say the same thing that the Souls players say. You gotta give it a chance.
That's how I feel. That's what Fist did for me with Metroidvania style games. Fist made me go, maybe they're not all terrible. Maybe they're not all very samey. Maybe they have something fun to offer. And since then, I've beaten 2 others. But, there's always those games that are the exception to personal opinion here. Like, everyone has those games, I think, that, I don't like shooters. I loved Titanfall 2. Absolutely loved that game. I'm enjoying the first couple hours I played in RoboCop. It feels very 80s. Feels very 80s. Like the whole thing, the game somehow in the first hour and a half has captured the entire essence of the movies for me and what I remember watching them as a kid. Kind of janky, kind of over the top. They caught everything, so it feels honestly, it feels like what the game should feel like to me. Because those movies, my dad loved them. And so I've seen 1, 2, and 3. But, it's crazy. Because everybody has those games that, are outside of their wheelhouse, right? That maybe surprise them or what have you. It would be like if Wara said, hey, the next God of War game, holy shit, I actually played it because I wanted to be able to give my opinion on it, and you know what? It's actually really fucking good. It would be like that. That would be an exception. And I'm picking on Wara because Wara and I talk quite frequently. So, I'm picking on him because I know he's a big man and he can take it. There's nothing wrong with that, but Will, specifically, you are upset with journalists who don't play games they talk about.
But I do play these games. I got 15, 20 hours in Elden Ring. Yeah, I have freaking 10 hours in Bloodborne.
It just takes us that long to get past the first boss.
What are you talking about? I told you guys a long time ago that at least once a year I like to go back to Bloodborne and see if I got any better because I'm really interested in the aesthetics of the game. So I do try to play these games, and I try to play them consistently. I just don't get very far, right? Because I'm stuck on freaking the boss or whatever, and I suck. But I do play them. Shit, I even buy them.
I even buy them. So it is. This all started because I was reading what Death Stranding was doing with the new game. And then we went into being bug-free and how games need to come out and how Will's not excited about Yotei and I am. And so let's bring this back in. Ghost of Yotei is coming out sometime this year. And I, for one, am really excited. I'm excited that the game didn't have a lot of crashes early on, even after they were updating the battle system. I'm really excited to, if you keep reading what some of the stuff that was said, I'm really excited that they kept having Shuhei play the game. He said even when he left the first party studio division, they would still have him come back to the studio to play the game and to give his input on it and to give his thoughts on it. And so like that to me is really, really cool because it shows, and part of this is I kind of have an ear for things that Shuhei says are good, because when he says it's going to be good, it's probably going to be good. Like, it's just one of those things that you can, if the sky is blue, the sky is blue. If Shuhei Yoshida says a game's going to be good, a game's going to be good. Like, it's just a fact. You can't just sell snakes and sparklers. Sorry, I felt like I was channeling a bit of the fireworks salesman there in Joe Dirt. Like, I just sell snakes and sparklers. But like, listen, you need to be able to look at these titles and we all have people that we connect to, and Shuhei has been one of those people in the gaming industry where folks look at him, and when he speaks about a game, we're like, oh shit, all right, cool. So for me, this is why I asked Will the question, hey, does this change your opinion on the game? Because for me, this just enhances it. Like, dang, I cannot wait. Cannot kick and wing. Yes. Yes, that's funny. But like that, it increases my excitement because Shuhei now has said, hey, this game is going to be good, and holy cheeseballs. Stephen Leon with the $50 for the weekly donation to your kids' Switch 2. Good to hear, or good to everyone here. Yes, we are gamers. Good to see Will on. I think this is instant gratification. I call it ADHD gen. Call it squirrel syndrome. Love it. Love story. I don't skip anything. Stephen Leon again with the 10 gifted members. Holy shoot. Whoa, Stephen. Steven started the party. He said, listen, there's not any excitement in the chat right now, just people bickering and arguing. I'm going to come in and I'm going to slam these 2 gifts right here. Thank you so much, Steven Leon. You hit Jen DeMarco, Lunchi Sky, PlayStation and PC Gaming Channel, IXXIMIXXI, NGC Nelson. Hey, you hit Nelson. I love it when he gets a gifted, man. All in TV, Michael Meridian, the Moo Man himself, Marty McFly, Leech 1399, El Nini. Guys, if y'all got gifted a membership, a couple people have already jumped in here and done it. Please go ahead and come on in and thank Steven for that gifted. Thank you so much, Steven. So, back to this. I'm really excited about the game. I can't wait for it. I am ready to play it. This is very generous. You should beat Metaphor to say thank you. I'm actually really close in Metaphor. I'm one of the last 3 contestants now. I've been looking for something to play after I beat RoboCop, because I really kind of want to beat it. It's a short game, and
I'm only 2 trophies away from getting a platinum on RoboCop.
I'm telling you, dude, it seems fun enough, and it's only like a 10-hour game, so yeah. I should be able to beat that in about a week or 2 and get that knocked out. But let's move on. Let's talk about some, we talk about some negative things, and so let's get some ideas on what we think about Hurry It Up and I'll Start It and Beat It Before You. If I could type, I'd be talking more shit. You know me. Yes, Steven, you would. I got to get you back on the show, dude. You were a blast to have on. Okay, so PlayStation Plus prices are going up. They've been going up all week. The past 2 weeks, they've been going up across the world. They've been going up and going up and going up. And it has nothing to do with PlayStation being greedy as shit. It has nothing to do with them taking a crisis and benefiting off of it. It has nothing to do with not letting a good crisis go to waste. No. It is just because of the global economic... Hang on, what did they say? Subscription prices, a big hike in in Canada. Latest to experience this. They should be experiencing this restructure. New previous pricing. Where is it? PlayStation Plus and Latin saw jumps. These changes have affected 16 countries, including Brazil, Mexico, and Argentina. Sony leadership has indicated in these cases that the reasoning... Whoa, Lord Jesus. What did I click? Fucking PCs, man. I clicked the wrong thing, and now I'm all over the place. Here we go. Subscription prices were tied to conditions in the global market. and an assurance that the company would still be able to afford to offer access to high-quality games for its members. Oh,
Man,
hey!
sounds a lot like Game Pass.
Hang on, don't get ahead of me yet. Josh Ayers with the 11 months, 1 month to go, then I'll be sitting at a year. Holy crap, one of the first members to the channel. Guys, listen, if you're a member, if you've been a member, if you keep getting these gifteds, you have milestone chats that you can do. Even if you're not a paid subscriber, you have milestone chats that you can do. Shout those out. I know it makes the gifters here happy when they see y'all do it. It makes me happy. You engage with stuff. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Josh. And then RPG88, member for 7 months. A small milestone, small but important as all get out. Back to work and still listening. Nelson, I appreciate it. What's up, hero? Are you using Bing? Sadly, yes. I'll explain why if you jump into a chat with me after this. So, yeah. Will, I think you beat me to it. But when Game Pass increased their prices, they used this freaking reasoning. The changes in the global market. This is where the gaming industry is headed. We have to do it to make up some money so we can still keep offering you high-quality games to our members and to the people so they can be able to be assured that we're going to give them the highest quality titles and that's all I was told to say. Like, it's the same shit. Like, I have now hear me. I have defended Sony a lot. And a lot of times when I said it's not a big deal, it hasn't been a big deal. It hasn't really annoyed me much. Because for me, some of the stuff that was going down wasn't a big deal. Okay, they're doing a detachable drive for the PS5 Pro. Fuck it, whatever. Cool. Who cares? I didn't. I still bought one. Like, I don't care. The Switch 2, prices are going up. I don't care. Who gives a shit? If you want the damn device, you're going to buy the device. I'm more interested in the fact that it doesn't seem like it's that much of a next gen, more like a plus upgrade. When Sony came out and said, hey, we're doing all these, or PlayStation came out and said, hey, we're doing all these live service titles, I was on their nuts for it. Then they said, hey, we're canceling all these live service titles. I said, yay! Everybody else was, oh my god, I can't believe they would do that. Look at all the bullshit. I can't believe they would blah, blah, blah. No, hell no. They did exactly what I wanted them to do. Cancel the shit. And move on. And then they're like, oh, now we're going to do more remasters and remakes. Hey guys, can we stop that? Like, not every game needs to be remade and remastered. Not everything. I was on them for that. Like, one thing that as a pony that has a brain that I try to do is to be on their nuts when they need us to be on their nuts. Project Backpedal. That's really funny. Sorry, Wara. I was just labeling things real quick that people bitch about and that I've like taken a stance of I don't give a shit about, and that kind of bled over. So that was my bad. That's why I quickly moved on to something else. They took Stray away from me. I thought you permanently got it if you signed up for premium when it was released. Lie. No, it was definitely a timed thingy. I don't know if they announced that it was, but it definitely was. But it's also a rotating service. That's fine. Whatever. It's like a Netflix. It's like a HBO Max. Fuck it. I don't care about that. Like, that part doesn't bother me. I expect games to rotate in and rotate out and rotate in and rotate out.
But I bought Stray.
I did
Good
too.
ass game.
It was okay. It was okay. I liked it. I liked the way the cat moved in it. I thought that was pretty cool. But honestly, I played about half of it and didn't beat it. It was okay. It just blah. It also came out, I believe, during the summer that year. So there was a lot of stuff coming out. But when you start talking about these subscription services and global market conditions. So here's the global market condition. The world is broke. Like, that's just how it feels. Like, 1% of the world is super, super rich, and the rest of us kind of broke. That's just how it feels. That's how the news would tell you that things are going. Okay? In reality, people are actually spending more money on things that they enjoy, right? On things that they want on luxury items. People are spending more on it. Now, you could say that's a psychology thing to make themselves feel better. It's retail therapy. It's whatever. That shit is so bad that people are just saying F it and spending the money now instead of save. Like, whatever the heck you want to do. I'm not an economist. I don't know. But I will say to blame this on global market is just a fancy way to say, hey, we want more money. That's all it is. It's a fancy way to say we want more money.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a fancy way to say that, hey, these developers, they want more money. And we have to pay them more. And we're not going to take a cut of our profits. Instead, we're just going to pass that crap right on to you. So, I don't like this. I think this is terrible. I think we had a price increase last year, and having one this year sets a bad precedent to have one every year. Like, oh, every year is just the yearly price increase, the yearly price increase. Buy it now while it's low because you don't know what's going to happen. When PS Plus was just PS Plus Essential, I remember paying like the same price every freaking year. It was just PS Plus. You paid the same damn price every year. Now, I'm canceling sub-services. I'm going back to them just to watch a certain show, or my wife does, because I don't really watch TV. But like, we'll sign back up for Netflix so she can catch the newest season of XY whatever, and boom, then we'll cancel it when she's done with it. Why? Because I'm not paying $20 a month for Netflix. I'm just not. I'm a cheap bastard. I don't want to. Especially if we're only going to have it for one show. That's dumb. Like, don't do that. If you have PS Plus because you want to get the games every month from Essential, you need to understand that you can usually buy those games for $20. Like, all of them. I'm not saying just one of them. Like, you could usually buy all of them for $20. There have been months where we've gotten a $5 game that was a game that was on sale just the week before for $5, a game that was on sale for $10 the week before, and a game that was literally within PS Plus Premium. Was it in Premium or Extra? I think it was in Premium and then went to Essential when it left. It was something weird like that, like, or it was in Essential and then went to Premium, but. Like, you can get these games usually for cheap, at least in the Essential tier. This is why I don't usually pay. I don't have PS Premium most of the time. Because I don't want it. I don't need it. It does nothing for me. Now, when I went on vacation, I signed up for PS Premium so I could play on my portal. Instead of having to link into my PS5, I could play games on my portal if I wanted to, and that's a feature of Premium. And so, like, I think I'm coming up to where it's about to swap back over to where I don't have it anymore because I don't see the benefit and the value in it. And all this is doing is telling me, hey, Thrifty, you know what? You made the right choice back in October of canceling Premium. You did. You made the right choice. So, Will, let me ask you this, man. Do you have Premium or do you just have Essential? Or do you have Extra?
So I just read an article on New York Times about the whole people spending more money on luxury items. But the flip side of that is they're spending more money because that's the only thing they have, or the only two things they have. So they're canceling everything else to get that one thing. And I think that's relevant to, people spending more on video games because instead of having all these sub-services, now they're just going to focus on the one thing that they enjoy the most. I have the premium only because I get it for $100 on Black Friday or $110 or whatever, versus the base is $80. As soon as I don't qualify, which I won't here, I think in 2 years I won't qualify, or if the price goes up, which it sounds like it may be, then I'll be going back to the base. But a difference of $20-$30 for the year to me is worth it. In the event I do want to play something in the rare event that I don't have it. People who are saying this because PlayStation need the money, we just saw, it wasn't last quarter, I think it was the previous quarter where PlayStation had record-breaking profit. I think it was for hardware and for the quarter. And I think that's just the way they're going to be going, man. They're going to milk us for everything we absolutely can. They're going to part and piece everything out. I think PlayStation is a little salty that they couldn't do what Nintendo's doing and charge people for the chat feature on their console. Maybe on the PS6 they will, but yeah, I'm not even. I honestly wouldn't even have PS Plus if playing on the internet was free. I wouldn't even
Yeah.
have it. I really don't even use none of the features, not even the cloud. I have I have 4 gigs or 4 terabytes of storage in my PS5 right now. Like I don't need cloud storage. I'm not fucking playing on another PlayStation where I gotta download. Like I don't give a shit about none of the features that thing has except for the one, which is something PC gamers get free.
Yep, I was about to say we have a few PC gamers in the audience, and they're probably going to come out with the, we get that for free. Real quick,
Yeah.
RPG88 slammed down the one gifted membership as he slammed the door on his way out. RPG88, have a good night, brother. Thanks for showing up. Appreciate you being here, and thank you for the gifted membership. Like, it's... Warawana said it's coming, Will.
Oh, I know it is, bro. That was my see when I was bitching about the PS5 Pro those months ago. Yes, I was frustrated that I'm paying $200 more for less features, and by less features I mean no disk drive, no stand, right? But I see it coming, bro. I mean, look, PlayStation is not lose. Remember the good old days when PlayStation would lose money on the hardware, on the software? Now it's kind of in reverse a little bit, and yet they want to blame everything but themselves. They don't want to blame mismanagement. They don't want to. They don't want to blame the expending too much or spending too much money on making some of these games that other developers are doing for half the cost. I mean, look how much Ghost of Tsushima cost to come out or to make when they made it. Look at the first Horizon, how much that cost to make when they first made it, and now cost has tripled. Freaking 5 years later.
Well, look at what they do every time. So, and trust me, this is not to say that I'm not going to play Spider-Man 3, or not to say that I'm. This is just calling it like it is. Like, I don't think this makes me any less of a Sony fan. If anything, I think it might make Will and I more Sony fans because we're actually able to look at it and go, hey, this might be a little fucked up here. But, like, so hang on, somebody in the chat said, yeah, if the PS Plus users start dropping off on PS Plus, they will lock more and more behind or to PS Plus. So here's the deal. And yes, that's the shitty part, is that instead of saying, hey, we'll go ahead and lower the price to bring people back in, like restaurants have had to do. Restaurants for a while got, like little fast food places, got too big for their britches, and we're like, no, everybody says everything is going up. We can get done with the value menu. There was an article about 4 or 5 months ago that like McDonald's, Taco Bell, and like 2 or 3 others were bringing back their value menu because they saw such a steep decline in people not coming. Because they were like, well, shit, I can go down to Chili's and spend $15 on a lunch. Why the hell am I going to go do that at Taco Bell? Like, one is way better quality of food. Both are still not amazing, but one is way better. And if it's the same price, or roughly the same price, you're always going to go to the better option. The problem is that there is not necessarily, within gaming subscription services, there is not a better option available on the PlayStation. I had to word that correctly so I didn't get yelled at in the chat. But like, there's a specific thing that they have done where they have locked it to PlayStation and have locked me by proxy to the PlayStation or to PS Plus. Because if I want to go do, let's say I want to play Ghost of Yotei. Okay, let's say it has another Legends mode. I want to play online. Will already pointed it out. I have to have a PS Plus subscription. Great. Fantastic. They locked it, right? So now they've hidden it.
I just beat Ghost of or Assassin's Creed Shadows. Thank God.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
Sorry to disrupt you.
No, you're fine. Those aren't features, are they? Sony just made the PS5 Pro much more appealing. Not that I care. If the PS6 comes out earlier than 2029, it will be a very slow takeoff. PS Plus users will definitely drop down from premium. Well, they already have. I think that's the problem is
Wasn't like a 10% hit or something like that?
I don't even know. I know that if it's affected me, it's probably affected more people. Because I'm somewhere between like a casual gamer and a hardcore gamer. I wouldn't call myself necessarily just straight casual, but I also wouldn't call myself this hardcore gamer. I just wouldn't. I'm somewhere in between. And so, generally speaking, if it hits me and causes me some sort of grief, it probably has caused others grief. They just don't have a podcast where they can talk about it. Like, that's what I have found. And even in my line of work where I'm constantly talking to different people, if they have a PlayStation in their house, automatically first thing we're talking about is, oh man, what games do you play? And if the first words out of their mouth isn't Call of Duty, Fortnite, or Madden, we're going to sit there and talk for about 15 minutes before I like go, hey, listen, I'm here to actually have to like do a job, so I'm going to go I'm going to go get this taken care of. But like when we talk, I remember talking to a client last year, and it was shortly after the price increase of the PS Premium. And he was like, man, I just canceled it. I was like, why is that? And I shit you not, he turns on his PlayStation and he goes, here's why. And he's like, I have already paid for and purchased all of these games, and they're all available for me to download right now if I want to play them. He's like, I don't need the service. And I was like, damn. And I was like, well, what about multiplayer? And he goes, I don't do multiplayer. And I was like, no shit. He goes, yeah, no.
You know, Thrifty, it's one thing if they add more features to warrant the increase, but they're not adding shit. Like, what, games? Okay, that's part of the service. What are you fucking bringing? What other features? Like, that's my big hang up. If you want to charge, you know, like with the Pro, yeah, I was mad about some of those things, but I can still see the value in 4K 60. You know, I can see
Sure.
the performance value in there.
Hell, 1440.
Yeah, it wasn't
60.
exactly, or 14. Yes, I'm sorry. I could see the value in that stuff. I just wasn't fully happy. But
Right.
PS Plus, what are they adding to it?
Well, like, I think part of what they're adding should be Crunchyroll. It's not. But it should be. Like, they should add Crunchyroll to... Here's the deal. And I kid you not. Anime people who I talk to, if PS Plus added Crunchyroll, they would sign up immediately to Premium.
Oh,
Like,
I would. And I don't even watch anime like that.
It would be no questions asked, because I'm already fucking paying for Crunchyroll because of Dragon Ball Daima. Like, I'm already paying for it because my kids and I are watching Dragon Ball Daima. And so, like, yeah, find a way to merge me with that. Hell, you can even charge the $10 or $11 I think that I pay a month for Crunchyroll. Charge that same amount. There's your price increase. Hey, we're going to go up from, I think it's what, $16 a month, $18 a month right now. We're going to go up to $27 a month, but that includes Crunchyroll.
Bro, in some countries, I think Canada is going up to like $20 a month now.
Yeah,
like,
I saw that. It's fucking sick.
Like that. It's crazy.
Like, I won't be paying that. Honestly, no. I do not want subs rolled into one. It's not good for us long term. So I don't want PS Plus Premium to be the only way you can get it. I just want it to be an added feature for PlayStation users. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want you to not be able to get it. I just want it wrapped in. Just like when you sign up with Verizon or AT&T or T-Mobile or whoever, you get Hulu, Disney, or Netflix for free, depending on which one you sign up with.
I got HBO Max with my AT&T fiber included. So now when they charge me, because I pay $90 a month for the 1,000 fiber, whatever, I'm like, you know what? You guys are throwing that in there. That's the only I stayed at that price. Only reason.
Absolutely. Like, okay, so a couple things. One, Warawana, member for 11 months. Great to see Will being back. It is good to have Will back. I don't apologize for being abrasive. I cannot help it. It's okay. We love you anyways.
You're abrasive.
I'm angry. But, Thrifty, when is the Death Stranding Director's Cut stream? Okay, so the game is downloaded. The game is ready to be played. I need to, for my own sanity and my own sake, beat Sword and Fairy Together Forever. I have to. There's no question about it. I have to beat it. I'm so close to the end. I literally, the game keeps going and keeps going. And I thought I was at the end a week ago. And apparently, no, you just get to fight the big, or you get how do I say that? You get revealed who the big bad is after you fight one person that you think is the big bad. No, 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 no. The game literally throws like a monkey wrench in and then expects you to do 45 more side quests that don't actually fucking matter. That's a whole different topic for a different discussion, probably part of the review video. So, I am trying to pick a date, probably, depending on when I wake up in the morning and how much I can put into the game tomorrow morning. I should be done with it tomorrow, which means if that's the case, I will be starting Death Stranding either Friday night of this week or Friday or Saturday night rather of next week. And so y'all will get to be on that journey with me. I do not plan on playing a single bit of that game away from the YouTube channel. So we will be experiencing everything together, every painstaking step, every single part of that game, the whole thing, until I get to the point where I either A, want to rip my eyeballs out, or I have to play it off of stream because I'm so excited about it. Like, I was talking to Wara about this earlier. I just came through a really rough season, like mentally speaking. I hadn't been playing a lot of video games. I haven't had the desire to. I didn't care. I've been trying to find games that would excite me or interest me. I did some retail therapy over the past few weeks. I bought Unknown 9 Awakening. I'm playing RoboCop. I bought Octopath Traveler. I bought Sword and Fairy. I purchased some things in hopes to, like, oh, I got them. I paid for them. Let's play them. That didn't exactly work, so now I've been playing Sword and Fairy. The story, like I said, finally everything like puzzle piece jigsawed into place, so that felt really good a couple mornings ago. I was actually really, really frustrated I had to go to work because I was super excited. And like all of that. But like somebody mentioned in the chat, no, Stephen Leon mentioned gamer ADHD. Well, one of the things that also affects my gaming, because I do play it as an escape, is when, for some reason or another, I can't escape. Like, and so one of the things that I realized was that through everything else and through some of the other things that were going on, I was tied to my phone. I'd try to play, and then all of a sudden, something from our Discord would pop off, or I'd look real quick and I'd think I'd see people arguing and they weren't arguing. It was just, but then I'd be reading everything, or then something else would happen with my other hobby that I do or whatnot. Like, and so I'd be in that, and that would distract me.
You play what, Dungeons and Dragons? That's what
Magic the Gathering. And so like something else would happen in that, and that would suck my time away, and then I'd fixate on that because I do have ADHD. So it's really easy for me to get distracted. Like, not even kidding, not making excuses. It's just a solid fact.
You can't chew gum and walk at the same time.
I can, but I shit you not. Sometimes I'll just be standing there and I'll choke on nothing. Like, it's the damnedest thing. I kid you not. Like, breathing is hard. And so,
that happens to me too.
Basically, it's just fucked up, really. Basically,
rather really slow or really high speed.
What I did the other morning, and it was probably my most fun gaming session I've had in a while, I put my phone in my bedroom. And I went and sat down, and I have an analog clock on the wall in the living room. Well, let me rephrase that. My wife has an analog clock on the wall in the living room. And that's how I figured out the time, when I needed to be at work, blah, blah, blah. And I just gamed. And every so often, when I wanted to get up to grab something or whatnot, I'd go and tap on my phone and go, never mind, I don't need to look at that. And I literally forced myself to not get distracted. And so I don't even know how I got on this, but like having all of these games that I can play at my fingertips was also Death Stranding. Thank you. So with Death Stranding, I really hope that it is one of those games that just captures me. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those games that just pulls me in.
So RPG, it sucks he left, but I have a problem with Death Stranding. I think the game is gorgeous and all that, I just have a hard time playing it. I don't know why. Like the music. Oh man, wait till you hit that intro. I'm gonna tune in. Let me know when you do it because I want to see your reaction to that intro. But it's phenomenal.
So
But
if you
I
want to
can't get
see
past it.
the intro,
Yeah, yeah, like the first hour of the game. Yeah, like
oh,
just trying to figure things out and just how gorgeous the game
gotcha.
looks and the music choices.
Okay.
Like it's really really good. But I have a hard time and RPG's like, "Oh, dude, you gotta do the first 20 hours, man. After that, that's when it really." I'm like, "Oh my God." It's like we hear that all the time, but unfortunately, as much as I talk shit about that aspect of the people who say, no, you got to get past the first hour, the first 10 hours, we heard that with freaking Starfield, right? Death Stranding, I really do think it's one of those games where you got to put in like 10, 15 hours and not get sidetracked and do all the side shit before you really start getting into it. Because look, man, I got like, I think it's 12 or 15 hours, and I just got my taser gun, and I just got my electric bike or whatever it's
Bro,
called.
I don't know what any of
So,
that means. But
well, you'll see.
like when I tell you the only images of Death Stranding that I've ever seen is his ass walking with a freaking baby on his back for some odd fucking reason.
Oh
Like
yeah, oh yeah.
that's it. That's all I know about the game. You're walking and you have a baby on your back.
That's all you need
Great.
to know.
That's all you need to know. Like, so I am excited to play it. And Warawana, yes, I put this in the chat, but back in the day, in the early 90s, they used to clinically diagnose both ADHD and ADD because both of them deal with different parts of attention disorders. And so ADHD basically means you just can't focus. ADHD means you can't focus and you're super hyperactive when being unable to focus. And so I had both. I was a Ritalin child. Ugh. Don't ever do that stuff. That stuff is fucked up. Anyways, I'm unmedicated now, but like,
Wait, I don't get it. If you're hyperactive, why would they give you medicine that makes you even more hyper?
so it's not necessarily. Yes, you are hyperactive, but you're hyperactive because of a chemical imbalance. You're
Oh,
not
okay.
hyperactive because you're just hyperactive. You're hyperactive because it's a chemical imbalance. Um,
So it's
and
not like go run and burn that energy and then you're good.
no, it's one of the things that you can do to kind of self-medicate ADHD is if you're super unable to like fall asleep and you have ADD or ADHD and you don't take medicine for it, or even if you do, sometimes the medicine by the nighttime is worn off because it's usually a stimulant that they give you to bring up your serotonin levels to like match where you're supposed to be, and so your body can function normally. But like if I have trouble falling asleep at night, I'll go out and make a cup of coffee. It's the damnedest thing.
Mm.
I'll make a cup of coffee. The cup of coffee will stimulate my serotonin levels enough to level me back out, and that will actually help me go to sleep. It's actually kind of dangerous when you're tired at work and you're driving a big huge effing work van and you're like, I'm tired. I'm going to get caffeine because that's what you think is going to help. And in reality, what you probably needed was to just get up and walk around or like go stop at a gas station or something and walk, because that is going to actually get your blood flowing and get you more hyped up and more amped up than just getting caffeine. Caffeine will actually has the ability to make you even more tired. It's the damnedest thing ever. Anyways, Thrifty PS Gamer reviews, that explains everything, bro. I'm telling you. I think Ritalin calms people down like a downer, if I'm not mistaken. It does, but it's a stimulant. It's methamphetamine. It is a derivative of meth. Like, not even kidding. this. Uh, oh, Nelson, I love me Ritalin. My like, caffeine crash is a real thing. Yes, and yeah. Ritalin makes me wide awake but super focused, especially when taking a 30-day supply. Yeah, don't do that. That's a good way to kill yourself. That's actually, funny enough, that's actually why I stopped taking it. I remember laying in bed one night. I was 17 years old, and I had just laid down, probably been in bed 20, 30 minutes, right? Trying to fall asleep, and I literally felt, and I could see, I lay on my back. I'm a back sleeper. And like I could see my chest beating through the blanket. It was the most wild experience ever. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is crazy. What is going on? And so I took it upon myself to research side effects of the medicines I was taking, because I also had asthma. I had allergy triggered asthma as a kid. And so like I took like, hey, what am I taking that is causing this? Thinking it might be one of the inhalers that did that before, and they had to switch me off of it and put me on a different one. Maybe it was those. No. Ritalin, one of the things that it causes is irregular heartbeat. To which I said, no thank you, I like my heartbeat being regular. And so I literally yanked myself off of it when I was 17 years old, and I had been on it since the second grade. And I just learned to cope, fidgeting, moving around. I started like, and I still do this to this day. It's one of the reasons that why when I'm on the podcast, I can't sit at my fucking desk. Like, I am in my office right now. The door is closed. I'm walking back and forth to the screen so I can catch y'all's chats, make sure the audio's working, make sure I'm not dropping frames, but I'm up moving around. I can't sit still. It just doesn't work for my brain, which is why my profession actually works well for me, because I'm never in the same place for more than a couple hours. Some dude's on methane. Well, that's different. That's different. Well, good Lord, Sin. Did you mean to say son? Anyways, that's gaming ADHD is a real thing, and it's a real thing when you have ADHD. So let me say this: if you have that and you struggle with decision paralysis, probably a good idea to go and hit that cancel button on your subscription services. And I mean all of them. Just get fucking cable. Like, just stop paying for a service that you're just going to scroll through for the next 4 hours and not pick a game to play or a movie to watch. Like, it happens. I'm dyslexic. They did not have drugs for it. I just had to read everything over and over. Dude, I feel that. You know what? They still don't have drugs for it. I know that because I have a kid that they think is dyslexic. And it's been a struggle. It's been hard. But he's getting it, and everything seems to be working out. So, anyways, Will 777JP, you are here. I kind of took that as like a therapy session. My bad.
Cool, bro.
Let's get into our last topic, because it's kind of a hot button. It's something that I know the chat will get involved in. And let's keep going. Also, guys, we have been here now for 2 hours and 1 minute. Please, please, please hit the like button. I'm not one to beg, but I'm begging you. Hit the like button. Share this thing out. Subscribe if you're here. If you're hanging out and like, hey, what's that thumbs up button for? Hey, press it. I tell you, it does magical things. I promise. You can also hit the subscribe button that's like right next to it, and then put notifications on. So you can always catch this and anything else that the channel does every single time it does it. No questions asked. Like Josh says, hit all the buttons. But with that being said, what if those buttons could be hit for you? What if you actually didn't have to lift a finger? What if I told you that there is a day coming where computers will do everything? Would you say cool? Or would you say, I don't really think it can do as well as me on liking the things that I would normally like? Well, that's our last topic of the night. The Witcher 3 performance director can't see AI fully replacing actors, especially not for games wanting to focus on a strong story, as it can't replace the human spark. Josh Ayers, what if I told you you'll die, or I'll die before that? I mean, we may not have a choice. Okay, so there's too much missing, which defines the nebulous something that alleviates an okay performance to a brilliant one. So basically, if you read the article, this is from Games Radar. basically, it is what it says in the headline. Like, this guy didn't save anything for the main bulk of the article. It is what it is in the headline. AI voices are going to start being used. This guy says, no, you probably shouldn't do that. Like, because you miss out on that human element. Now, I fully agree. I don't think that this is a good idea. I don't think that it's a good idea to do this with development. I don't think this is a good idea to do it with art, with voice, with any form of artistic creativity. Humans can be scarred. Those scars can help people create art. Okay. It's cool, bro. No worry. I'll say, huh? Yep. So, Will, what do you think, man? AI, is it coming to take our
I
lives?
actually made a video about this on my channel 2 weeks ago, I think it was. And basically what I was doing is I was reacting to a video that Ashley Birch made. For those of you guys who don't know who Ashley Birch is, she is the voice actress for Horizon. She's Aloy's voice actress. She also does voicing for Tiny Tina, for Mel in The Last of Us. She's one of the superstars like Troy Baker. And at the time, there was a voice actor strike going on, and I think she made the video about a month ago. So I don't know if that's still going on or not. But it was for the AI, specifically because leaks came out with Sony demoing Aloy with AI, and what they were demoing is a gamer is playing Horizon Forbidden West with their headset on. They're going to a mission. And between point A to point B, the gamer can say something like, "Hey, Aloy, are you scared about this mission right now?"
Dude, it looked like shit.
And AI would answer back and give you a question. So you could be talking and having a conversation with your gaming character, which I thought was super freaking cool. Now, what Ashley Birch was saying is that this demo that they did wasn't using her facial animation, wasn't using her voice, wasn't using her likeness. It was just an AI demo. And the biggest thing that the voice actors are concerned with is studios using their likeness with combination of AI. Another thing they're worried about is fair pay, and the other one was obviously jobs being lost to AI. But like Witcher 4 developer said, you guys played The Last of Us 1. You remember when Joel lost his daughter to gunshot in the beginning of the game? Spoiler alert for a 15-year-old game.
Yeah.
AI is not able to perform that same skill yet. Right? So do I think AI could be beneficial to the game industry? Absolutely. Why do I say that? Earlier in the show, we were talking about how mismanagement is a big, or I was talking about this, how mismanagement is a huge thing in the video game industry. And I think AI, not with voice acting in specific, with some voice acting, like for example, I don't think we need to get a voice actor to do the grunts in the game, right? Like the you know, I don't think that could be something that can help speed up development.
Be careful, if you grunt that much, you'll get War all excited.
Oh yeah, he will. He's already sweating. But also just the menial work that some of these developers do. Like sometimes people forget that these developers, they're freaking like computer engineers, and they're like, you know, they're like professionals. They're making six-figure salaries. Like making a game is not easy. But there's a lot of menial work, a lot of repetition work that has to be done. Like, man, you have to make the same tree 5,000 times, right, to fill up this freaking thing. Or, you know, you have to create a program where you can duplicate it and whatever. But I think AI can be involved in some of those processes and help with the production of a game. But as far as taking over 100% the human element, I don't think it's a wise choice. I think humans by nature are artistic and they're creative. And some of the best games ever are because, or they all have been because of humans just going about their day to day. I mean, musicians, right? We hear a song or an album that is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, we say it ourselves, right? Oh, I hope this person, you know, this selfish of us, we're like, oh, this person went through a breakup. They're about to drop the most fire album ever, right? Because they're able to put
Taylor
those
Swift.
emotions. Taylor, yeah, she's made a career off that shit.
Taylor Swift.
So there are things that happen in our day-to-day lives, you know, the aggression or the shit, depression, right? Or the
Yeah.
happiness and the sadness and all the things that make us emotional beings are all the things that we use to create. And AI, no matter how much you program it, you just can't get those things quite right. Even with these AI videos that we see online, like I've been following this dude on Instagram where he creates a day in the life of like, I don't know, Egypt in 1500 BC or something. Like that looks so cool, right? Like just imagine being there and the pyramids being built. But there's always something off about it. And the AI video could be done perfect. He could have taken his time, but there's always something that's a little off. And I think if we take that translation into video game development, I think we'll get the same feeling where that line is a little off, or this design is a little tad off. Like it won't feel authentic because look, not everything is done perfectly by humans. It's those imperfections that sometimes make it, really cool. And the last thing I'll say is about that. A lot of you guys saw the marathon gameplay reveal last weekend, and they did the CGI trailer, which I absolutely really, really like. I think it was genius. But one of the cool things the camera was doing is, you know how when you're recording with your cell phone, there's a little bit of that shakiness in it. Now, it's not enough to throw the picture out, but if you're really focused, you can see you kind of shaking a little bit. They did that on so many of the scenes, and it gave it a feel of you actually being there, especially during a gunfight scene in the beginning. Those are little things that only happen because of human imperfection. You know, if you put the camera on a freaking rig that holds it still, you'll never be able to get that. You can barely even mimic that. You literally have to have a human holding a freaking cell phone to get that feature. So yeah, I don't think it's beneficial overall, but I do think there's ways to implement it that will help me as the gamer get a game fucking in 3 years instead of 10. Maybe that's a huge gap, but you know what I mean. Quicker than it taking forever.
Yeah, that's where I want it to be used. Like if it gets used, well, not if, it's going to.
Yeah.
I want it to be to speed up production, not replace people.
Yeah.
Like if these games are getting harder and these games are getting harder and longer to develop or whatever, and you can use this as a tool, then fine. If you can't, it shouldn't be used, and you're no longer a developer. Okay, so you're no longer a developer in the same way that if you're in sales and the only way that you can close a deal is by getting the price lower and lower, you're no longer a salesperson, you're an order taker. Like, there is a difference. One requires skill, and one requires you just kind of doing enough just to get by. Right, Steven, it's a tool, not a crutch.
Yeah, yeah.
And
shouldn't be the main feature in anything.
Not at all. It should not be the main feature at all. But oftentimes, when we get a new toy that's supposed to be a tool, could help us make things a little easier and all that kind of stuff, then it turns out to be something that gets overly abused, overly used, and probably isn't that good in the first place. Like, a good example is a lot of companies, when we saw the Unreal Engine 5 stuff, right? When we first saw that Matrix demo of it, and it looked really, really cool and really good, and then we start seeing games coming out for it, and hey, guess what? These games run like shit. Why? Well, because it didn't work as well as advertised, right? Like, that's where I think we get into an issue with AI. I think it's not going to work as well as advertised. And, like, there's talks, if I'm not mistaken, didn't Microsoft say, like, they had it to where the game was, like, writing code as the player was playing it or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, that kind of stuff is, I don't like that, man. I wonder what kind of quality you're going to get at that point.
Oh,
yes.
I'm sorry. And before I forget, Thrifty, and the last thing I said in my video too is good. At the end of the day, I said good. Hopefully, and not for the voice actors or but more for like management. Like, I hope this puts a fire under your ass because competition is good. And I know that competition with AI is may not even be a fair thing to say, but like some of these people, man, like you got to think, bro, we all work for a living. How many of our coworkers show up to work, immediately go take a 30-minute bathroom break? Then they're by the water
Ah,
cooler for 15 minutes. Then they're freaking talking your ear off for another 20 minutes. And by the time they actually get to work, it's been an hour and a half. And now they only got 2 hours before their next break. And you're like, dude, how much time did you really like get anything done today? So
right.
then you got other people picking up the slack. They're stressed as shit because they actually care about their job. They like their job and they're just trying to move things along. But that happens so much, and we see it with all these documentaries and shit. Like they have these, state of the art cafeterias and freaking, they company freaking Starbucks time, and oh, you need a massage. What the fuck, man? Like, get to work a 9 to 5 like we all do, and if you all collectively do your fucking jobs correctly and do what you're getting paid for, I think that would also cut back in all this. We need to get faster. We need to charge more. We need to do all this. There's just so much mismanagement going on.
No, I agree. And like that's like the From Software thing that was mentioned earlier. It's I mean, on some level, you got to look at FromSoft and go, "Hey, you're doing
Yeah,
something right." Like
them dudes are beast over there.
you're taking this and you're making it work to where you can get these things out at a really good cadence with as many employees as these other big companies that are only releasing 1 to 2 games every generation. Y'all are over here releasing 5 to 10. Like you're doubling their production. Good, good on you. Share your secret sauce with the rest of the class so we know what you're doing. Or is it just management from the west to the east? It could be.
Well,
Could be. Go
did you
ahead.
see that interview with Bobby Kotick where he was talking about how the West couldn't compete with the East because they work 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they're just
Right.
work, 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 work.
Right. I don't know for fact, but I wonder if inside of a Japanese development company, if they have beer taps on the wall downstairs.
Hmm.
I wonder if they have e-bikes set up for you to bike from one part of the campus to the other. I I wonder if they have a coffee lounge that will make you 85 different types of espresso. I just they might, and if they do, cool. If not, maybe we can point to that as maybe we don't need AI to speed up the process. Maybe we need better workers and better management to get the most out of these people. Like, I don't know, just, spitballing here. Like, I have my evaluation tomorrow, and my manager's job is to figure out what's going to motivate me so the company can get the most production out of me. My role is to figure out how I can be the most productive and how I can motivate the company to pay me more. Like that's what drives me is I want more money. Like so because I want more money, I try and I put forth my best effort and I do my job properly and I show up to work and I pull the extra call when they need it and I do all of these things because I want to be able to look at the company and go, "Hey, pay me more money." The problem is that some of these developers, they're like, "Well, shit, I signed a contract for $65,000 for a year's worth of work on this project. Awesome. I got 65 grand for a year's worth of my time. I can just, go along and mosey about and blah, blah, blah." I'll never forget, there was an interview that, oh crap, okay, I remember the interview. I don't remember who said it, but it was an interview with basically a head of a development studio, and he was talking about how games are taking longer and longer and longer to develop, and the code seems to be taking longer and longer to write. And he was like, he tells a story where he's like, I walked in and I said, "Hey, I want to change the combat design a little bit. I need this new line written for the combat." And the guy looked at him and said, "Hey, that's going to take me 2 weeks." He's like, 2 weeks? This should take 2 hours. What are you talking about, 2 weeks? And then he was like, well, through more communication and blah, blah, blah. And folks were like coming to him and saying, hey, you're being too harsh. Your demands are unrealistic. And he's like, I remember being a developer, and if the lead designer or the team lead said, hey, we need this done, your butt stayed late and you got it done.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, I fully remember writing combat code in 2 hours from nothing. And so he was like, I know it can be done. And of course there was a hot button interview, and folks were saying, well, that's not the way development's done anymore, and blah, blah, blah. But obviously for some companies it is, because some companies are dropping 1 to 2 games every year.
Yeah.
And
employee satisfaction is still high. They're making bonuses.
People getting raises. People like, it's just, if you want to use, back to our original topic, if you want to use AI to help the process, fine. Bro, I hope I get a raise too. That would be nice. I would like that. But if you want to use AI to like speed along the process, I'm fine with that. If you want to use it to do the mundane part, fine. But don't try to use AI to replace creativity. Right? No. That's where I have a huge problem with it. Don't try to use... Go ahead.
I honestly think that a lot of these studios would do way better if they just got out of some of these big cities like New York, California. Like, bro, go into the Midwest, you know what I'm saying? Like, Bungie started out in Chicago, and they were able to freaking form Halo out of that thing. And, you know, the expense of creating and working and employment, you know, even just something simple like paying your electric bill or the lease on the building, just cost goes way, way down. And you may not have to look towards AI for something that you can't control just by making a change like that.
Well, and so what's really funny, you mentioned that when Henry was on the show, him and I talked about that, because we did what you and I used to do a lot, where like we were talking about like what kind of game we would design and like how they could have improved a certain title or done this or done that. And he was like, man, they just need to come over here to Missouri or Arkansas or one of these southern states, get some dudes off of the blue collar team, get them into their studio and go, all right, what do y'all like to play at the end of the day? And like, just start doing that. He's like, we got ideas down here. We got talent down here. Yeah. Like, he's right. Like, come over here, open up a studio. Costs are super cheap. You ain't got to pay us $100K a year, because $100K in Arkansas and you're living very well. Like, you don't, 70,000, 75,000, and you're getting a house in the Heights in Little Rock. Like, it's not bad. It's not $1 million home, but it's not, you got a decent living, you're going to have a couple decent cars, like, you can provide for your family. Like,
you'll be upper middle class almost.
Right. And $75K in California and you're homeless. Like, that's,
and without the stresses too, because people forget, like, you know, high income people, most of them, not a lot, not all of them, but of course a lot, you know, most of them, they're also high stress jobs, because a freaking $100K job isn't gonna just pay you $100K to just be on nilly-willy, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just do this today. No, they expect production out of you.
They expect you to do shit.
And this goes into the video game, like, the video game industry is so freaking unique, because the video game industry puts up with shit that no other field will do, no other corporation. Like, even though this industry makes more money than music and movies combined, we have the worst journalists. Even though we have the most money per product, we have such freaking, you know, worker laws or employee, you know, where you got to take a break every fucking 2 hours, you know, like, you need your coffee break, you need a freaking therapist, you need, like, there's just so much shit that goes into it.
Oh, dude, like, and if you smoke, F you. Because you get extra breaks that I don't get. Like, that's...
Yes.
Kiss my
You're
ass.
a freaking firefighter over here pulling fucking 3 24-hour shifts back to back to back, and you're expected to come back in 2 days, 3 days, and do it all over again. But, like, these dudes are sitting in an office all freaking day, you know, an AC. Like, drawing and creating
Mm-hmm.
cool shit, and yet you have PTSD because you had to work till 7 o'clock. Like, I just don't understand
Yep.
that mentality.
So it's funny you say that. Monday, so I'm on call this week. I'm super surprised my phone hasn't gone off tonight. Because Monday I pulled 12 hours, 12 and a half actually. Went in at noon, and I didn't get home until midnight 30. And last night I went in at noon, didn't get off till 10:30. It wasn't an option. Like it was
Yeah.
hey, these people need you. You're on call. You're the one that's supposed to go out there. So guess what? You go out there. It is
Hey,
what it
Thrifty,
is.
do you mind? Do you mind coming in today?
I don't have a choice. And then guess what? The next day I had to do it again, and that was today. I went to sleep last night at 11. I think I went to bed at like 11:15. I got home at 10:30. So I spent a little bit of time on the couch. I didn't even have the fucking TV on. I just spent a little bit of time on the couch doing absolutely nothing. I didn't have anything going. I looked at my phone a little bit, but that was about it. Like, nothing was happening. And then all of a sudden, I start noticing my phone start to fall a bit, and so I'm like, shit, I gotta go to sleep. I was exhausted to the point where I woke up this morning at 10:15 to my wife going, hey, are you okay? Because I normally wake up early in the morning no matter when I went to sleep. I wake up at 7 or 7:30, even if I was like up late or whatnot. And so I say all that to say this, I still went to work today and worked another 8 hours. Because that's what I was supposed to do. I didn't you don't you don't get you don't get these lovely vacation break thingamajiggies. Yes, you need laws fixed. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm not saying freaking 12-hour days, fucking 365. No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, just like when you're a teacher, report cards are due, you're kind of expected to
Yep.
be late grading your, getting your report cards ready. You're in sales, it's the end of the month. You're kind of expected to, hey, we got to pull out these next couple days in so we can finish the month strong.
Pause.
Hey, you're a police officer. Hey, we got the freaking, whatever debate in town this day. So we kind of expect people to come
Yeah.
in, and we do, right? Thrifty, important job. AC goes down, heat freaking scalding hot. I bet you don't care about labor law when you're fucking freezing your ass off at home and you have no heat when it's fucking, -5 degrees outside. No, you expect somebody to be doing their job. Why? Because they're getting paid.
Right.
This isn't like volunteer work, guys. No, we're getting paid.
Right. Like, and honestly, it's the people who. This is the. And I don't know. I can't. I'm going to stop talking about developers because I am not one, nor have I ever been. The way it seems to me, though, from the interview videos, the behind the scenes, especially the shit that Bethesda does, oh my god. It feels like I fucking want to go work at Bethesda, and I know jack shit about designing video games, but I want to ride one of those fucking segways around the hallway. Like, that's what, like, I want to go do that. That looks fun. And if you're
It's like
telling
they went
me,
to the extreme.
right, like, I understand creature comforts. I understand employee happiness. I understand the idea of a pizza party or giving food or beverage to make employees feel more welcome. Trust me, I get all that. It's super cool. We have a crawfish boil coming up in May for my work. I'm taking my family. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. Those type of things are great. But work still needs to be done. And work, I feel like Sony kind of came in to PlayStation, kind of took over for a little bit with Hiroki Totoki being there, kind of took over and said, hey, listen, the PlayStation division is overspending. It's not doing what it's supposed to. It's not as lean as we want it. It's bloated as all get out, actually. And we need to figure out how to fix this. And we're going to start seeing, I hope, this is what I've been saying for the past year, I hope that this is the year, the fiscal year, that we're going to start seeing the cadence increase. We're going to start seeing games dropping, and we're going to start seeing some of the things that Totoki was trying to do and some of the things that the bean counter implemented take shape. And that's like we shit on bean counters, but let's be honest, businesses have them for a reason. There's a reason why there is somebody within your company that knows how much each little like sliver of paper cost, because their job is to know, right? Like when I have Falky on, his job, like he deals with numbers all the time, and so his job is to know those numbers. With Will, he runs his own store. Like his job is to know the numbers, how much this product X cost versus this product. Like that's his job on some level, is to be a bit of a bean counter when it comes to his inventory and things like that.
That's
like
my job actually.
You'll see, there you go. Like those things aren't bad. Those things are needed to be able to take the creative and go, hey, listen, we understand your process. I think it's great. Games are coming out that are amazing. We need y'all to stop overspending. Like,
well, let's put it in a simpler term, Thrifty, for because we're all adults here. We all have, rent, mortgage, whatever to pay. Tell me this isn't a difference. You come home, you have the mortgage due, the utilities due, you got to go grocery shopping, your kids are asking for new clothes, all the car broke down, and you have $300 in your bank account, and you don't know what to do. But there's nothing you can do right now because it's 10 o'clock at night, and you can't go work because obviously work is not till tomorrow. Or you come home, the mortgage is paid, everything's paid, your kids are up to date, they're in bed, sleeping nice and calm and, relaxed. The wife is doing whatever, reading a book, nice and chill, and you're chilling. Your responsibilities are taken care of. How much more productive can you be at home in both situations? How much productive do you think you're going to be when you're stressing out about paying the bills? You got to pay the employees. We're overspending. We got to do all this shit versus, yep, bills are paid. We have the right amount of employees that we need. We're right on time with production. How much more creative do you think those employees are going to be versus the latter?
Oh, so what's really interesting that you mentioned that, because when I was in car sales, New York was one of the first places to do this, where they didn't pay their people off of commission anymore. They paid them straight salary. And the reason they did it, and the reason why I was starting to catch on the East Coast and then eventually over to the West Coast in certain areas, was that they noticed that their sales team was happier. And because they were happier and their mind was more clear and they weren't focused on household economics, that they were able to be better producers at work. Like, it's just a fact that when your securities are taken care of, you feel better as a person, and especially, dear God, especially as a parent. Like, as a parent, when your stuff is taken care of, it is the most blissful, peaceful that you will ever be. You will lay down and sleep like a fucking baby. And I'm not kidding. And I have run the gambit in my lifetime of being a poor kid, being a kid that had money, being a kid that didn't, being an adult that did, being an adult that didn't. I've ran every single part of it. I was almost homeless in college. Like, I have been on every single side of the economic spectrum. And when you feel the most productive is when everything is going fine, economically speaking. Like, obviously, money isn't the end-all, be-all. Having money isn't the end-all, be-all. I get that. The fact is, we live in a world that uses money as its form of currency and exchange. So we no longer have the traditional barter system anymore. Now we barter using money with pictures of dead presidents on it. Like, that's how we in America barter. We don't take the goat down to the grocery store and go, hey, I'll give you a goat if you give me eggs. We might have to do that soon, but currently we don't do that. So I'm not trying to glorify money. I'm just trying to say that, and I think Will is just trying to say that when all of our bills are taken care of, you are much more productive. Just like when these studios go in there, or when these heads go in there and start like trimming the fat and getting all these people gone, and we're like, oh shit, man, why the fuck did you do that? Some of it doesn't make sense. Hi-Fi Rush Studio getting closed doesn't make sense at all. But like taking a studio down from 500 people to maybe 450 because like, hey, listen, we found some redundancies. We didn't need those jobs. They were hindering production. Too many hands in the fire. We talked about it with Spider-Man 2 versus Spider-Man 1. You got too many people on the fucking game. Like, the first one had like 3 or 4 writers, I think it was. The other one, the next one had like 22. Like, you're writing 22 checks to those bastards. 22.
That's a lot. And think about it. They're getting paid, let's say, 50 grand on the low end. What's 50 times 22, dude? That's a lot. That's monthly.
Right?
I mean, that's yearly. That's a lot of freaking money, man.
Like, and so you got the bean counters going, holy fuck, how this game has to sell 25 million copies for us to make a damn profit enough for them to get a bonus, them to get a bonus, them to get a bonus, and us to get a bonus. Oh, shit.
That's why Square's always like, this game lives out to our expectations.
I can't wait.
But y'all sold 5 million.
I want Square to be happy for a game release. So
just once.
Just once. I don't care. Just one time this gen, I want to hear them come out and go, we are so proud of this title and the success that we had. We're not afraid our doors are going to close. We're not. But you're right. That's a great correlation. Like, when bean counters get scared that their securities are going to go away because this game isn't going to do well or they've spent too much money on it, that's when you get, hey, just release that title.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you get, fuck it, get it out. We'll say it has 30 frames per second because of creative decision. Like, that's one of the reasons that I know that Sony is not in a bad place financially, because they're not just shoving this crap out there before it's ready.
Yeah.
Like, that is one way, and we've kind of been all over the place with this topic, but that's kind of one of the ways that I know that Sony is doing well. Because they're not sitting there going, we gotta shove this shit out there. We gotta shove this shit out there. Now, I do fully believe that they kind of put their tail between their legs on the live service stuff, because Concord, like, literally came, shat the bed, and left. But, like, outside of that, they're not rushing anything. I don't think they rushed that, but like that made them change their course a little bit, in my opinion, on live service titles. But like, there's so much that can be done with AI. There's so much good that can be had with AI. Josh mentioned it earlier in the chat, and Will, I think you mentioned it also, that if you let it take over the mundane stuff, the stuff that like a lab monkey could do, the stuff that somebody could do making $10 an hour or $12 an hour, like let it do that while you're training up these people to be to the level above that $10 to $12 an hour. Like, you're going to speed up production. That's going to lower cost. Lower cost means the bean counters are happier. It means everybody at the studio is happier. People aren't terrified they're going to lose their jobs. People are going to be more secure in what they're doing. At least I fucking hope. Like, this could be the best thing for the industry, and it could be the absolute worst thing for the industry. I know that in the mechanic world, when computers started doing the work for the mechanic, mechanics, like automotive mechanics, became less bolts and wrenches inclined and more computer inclined. And instead of fixing something, like actually taking apart, fixing whatever's wrong with that part and putting it back on, it's become, hey, instead of doing a lower ball joint and dealing with that, we're just going to go ahead and do a control arm, because it comes with a ball joint built in. And it's easier to replace a control arm than it is to replace a ball joint. So we're just going to do that. Or we're just going to hook up to this computer and we're going to charge you $170 to do so. And then we're going to charge you $300 to put on a sensor, because that's the thing that's wrong with it. Instead of, oh, hey, this thing's running a little rough, let's go ahead and clean the sensor and try that first. Nobody does that anymore. Why? Because it's easier just to look at the computer and go, hey, this is wrong, replace this part. And that type of I don't want to call it laziness because I know a lot of really good technicians that would kick my ass if I called them lazy. So I don't want to call it laziness, but on some level, the abuse and overuse of technology in certain industries will cause people to become more reliant on that. Like Steven said earlier, it becomes a crutch, not a tool. And so that's my biggest fear. Will, do you have anything to say on AI before we close out that topic?
Nope, I'm good. And well, yeah, I do. And the things that Ashley Birch said, I want to commend her a little bit because no matter how advanced AI is, Ashley Birch is secure. She's a freaking she's in the A League. Her and people like Troy Baker, they're always gonna get jobs, right? But the future voice actors, or the voice actor just starting, if they start using AI as a crutch, it can really affect those. And how many more of these great performances we're gonna miss out? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to miss out the Troy Baker performance in freaking Last of Us Part 1 again, with a new person doing another IP. I don't want to miss out on that shit. I want to experience it. So I want more of that. But like we've been talking about the mundane shit, go crazy with it, knock it out, help these games come out faster, help, the bean counters be satisfied that their money's not being spent on dumb shit. And I think it could be used well. But we are humans and we are greedy. So we'll see what happens with that.
Man,
yeah, that's all I got.
Man, we will see what happens. And just like what Will just said, that is all I have for tonight as well. Let's do this. Will, over the next 30 days, what's the one game that you would recommend for people to be on the lookout for?
Oof. That isn't out yet?
That's not out yet.
Oof. So I actually was talking about this today. I would recommend The Precinct.
The Precinct.
Which that's coming out I think it's May 12th. But it is, you play as a police officer. The Precinct. Hold on, I'm gonna give you guys the actual.
So while he's looking that up, mine is actually the game that I pre-ordered recently, and that is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It comes out, if according to Google here, it comes out in 7 days and 34 minutes. And I'm very excited. That means I have 7 days and 34 minutes to beat Sword and Fairy 7 and RoboCop. So, and to start Death Stranding, because I think that'll be a fun game to play in between. Will, did you find it?
Yeah, I did. So The Precinct is an upcoming action-adventure video game developed by Fallen Tree Games and published by Koali. They're the same people that released American Fugitive, and it is it takes inspiration from Grand Theft Auto, but it's a top-down perspective, and it's an action-adventure game. Super interesting looking. You're basically a cop, and you chase down criminals, but with a top-down perspective, like GTA back in the day.
Speaking of top-down perspective, I saw one of your old videos. You played Redacted, didn't you?
Yeah. Love that game.
I am actually thinking about buying that because I think it would play super well on the Portal. And so...
Oh, perfect game for the Portal.
I'm thinking about getting it. I saw one of your videos and you had some gameplay playing of it, and I was like, that actually looks really fun. How did I miss that? Mm-hmm. And so it's from the same people that made oh man, that horror game that people thought it was gonna be like the Dead Space type game.
Dead Space, yeah.
It was on a prison. It was oh lord,
Black Rock Prison.
Yeah. That's I can't think of the name, but I know what game you're talking about. But yeah. Anyways, guys, Stephen Leon PoE2 looks cool. Yeah. Expedition 33 run on a PS5 Pro. It does. It actually is supposed to be enhanced, and it's not out yet. So Expedition 33 comes out in 7 days. I am super excited. I did not realize it was that close.
Yeah, it's coming out next week. I was like, back in, I think it was January, they dropped pre-order for the physical, and you know me, I don't like turn-based games, but this game just looks badass, and I was like, you know what,
Callisto.
For $50, I'll check it out. and I bought the deluxe edition of it, which was 70, but it came with a steel book and whatever. And I'm like, you know what? I'll just pre-order it because GameStop doesn't take your money right away. And I was like, if I change my cancel it, no harm, no foul. Well, I look again, and this fucking thing is sold out, and people are selling their pre-owned copies on eBay for like $150. So I'm like, damn, this game is like really blowing up, and people really want this shit. So I'm really looking forward to it as well.
I am too. It's gonna be, hey, maybe we can do what we did for Spider-Man and play it together.
Yeah, that'd be dope. I was
That
just
would be.
talking about that last week with Nelson. I was like, yeah, dude, that was a fun time. Yeah,
That
just
part
hit
of
me
the
up, let me know.
community, that doing stuff like that with the community is something that I should do more of. That's really fun. So if any of y'all have a game that you're like, hey, I'm about to start playing this, or I think you might like it, let me know. Maybe I'll jump on like I did with Will, and literally you're playing yours, I'm playing mine. We start at the same time, and like we just chit chat back and forth during gameplay. Super fun. If y'all have friends in the gaming communities, and or if y'all just have friends that play games together, fuck the community. Like, and I know that sounds bad, but like, not everything has to be tied to some online community. Like, if you have friends in the real world that you like, both of y'all vibe on video games. Really cool thing that Will and I did during Spider-Man 2 was literally not a multiplayer game, and we were in the chat every single time we were playing it. Like, dude, are you playing tonight? Yeah, I am. Cool, I'll hop on. Or like Will was like, hey, I've already been on for a couple hours, hop on in. And like we would just sit and just play the fucking game, and we would like, oh my god, that's so sick. Oh, I can't tell you, you're not there yet, which was usually him telling me. Like, oh man, you're not there yet, I can't spoil it. Or like, oh man, they gave Mary Jane the gun, it's really cool gameplay. And then we got to talk about how we would love to have a shooter, like an over-the-shoulder shooter from this, from Insomniac, and like how cool that would be to like have like a realistic shooter, and how they haven't lost like the ability to do so, like it was just a really cool time. So really interesting way to share a gaming experience with like the friends of yours.
Callisto Protocol.
Yes, I did try First Berserker Kazan. It is extremely difficult in certain spots. I have gameplay of it up. You can see me get my ass kicked repeatedly. And so, yeah, you can actually go check that out on the channel. Speaking of the channel, Will 777 JP, you're kind of doing this whole YouTube thing. It's doing great for you. You have 475 subscribers. If any of y'all in the freaking chat tonight are not subscribed over there, go subscribe. Get this man to 500. He puts in more work on this dang channel than I have seen from a lot of people. He's releasing video after video. He does gameplay. He does a podcast. He does mail call videos. He does quick thought video. Like if there's a video style that you can do, Will does it. Will, tell them where they can find you. What's the name of your channel, and when's your podcast?
It's Will 777 JP, just like you see here. And man, I do a couple of them. I do on Sunday nights with Nelson, who's my co-host, and then we have guests every now and then. Whenever it's an open thing, like I don't send invites or nothing. It's an open chat. So if you ever want to hop in, just hop on in. And then I do one on Tuesdays with RPG, where we just pick a game and we play it. Same thing. If you want to hop in, just hop on in. So it's very open. And yeah, just come check out the channel, man. I post all sorts of videos. Everything's gaming related, and I just like talking to the community. Shout out to my subscribers, man. Y'all are freaking amazing. And yeah, I'm like 25 short of 500, which is incredible. So thank you.
It is, man. Super incredible. Guys, go check out his videos. Josh Ayers asked, who is on next week? That is a mystery to everybody, including myself. I will be sending out that information very, very soon. Unlike Will, his style is on the fly, open, and all of that. Mine, I actually sit and like plan out weeks in advance who's going to be on. I have not done that recently. So I'm going to be getting back into that, sending that back out. And yeah, happy gaming, everybody. Literally Will says it best, find a reason to game, not a reason not to game. I have been trying so hard lately to give myself reasons to pick up the controller. Because in life, it's going to kick your ass, and it's going to give you reasons not to. And if this is a hobby that you love, if this is something you enjoy, if this is a passion of yours, do not let it go by the wayside just because life is a bit tough, or just because you're having a hard day, or just because you have all these other responsibilities. Like Will said, shit, ain't nothing you can do about them at 10 o'clock at night anyways.
Facts.
Might as well
What
get
you can do is turn that PS5 on and play it.
That's right. That's right. That is what you can do. And guys, that's actually what I'm probably about to do tomorrow morning. Right now, I'm going to sleep. Y'all have a wonderful night. Thank you again, Will, for coming on. It has been too long. Can't wait to have you on again. It is going to be wonderful. Thank y'all so much. Once again, The Precinct and Claire Expedition 33, games to be looking out for. Have a good night, and as always, stay thrifty.